What about now?
Hold on. Okay.
That worked.
Okay. We got it. Right?
Mhm.
Okay. You can hear us now, right? How long of a delay is there?
Couple seconds.
Just a couple seconds? Oh, okay, yeah. All right. You have to unmute it. LOL.
It's
It's unmuted.
I can hear it on my phone.
It's unmuted. Brandon can hear it on his phone. Maybe.
Listen. Say something.
Okay. Maybe.
It's you said that last.
Oh.
Delay.
Okay, so it's that much of a delay. That's weird. Okay, now we have sound. Wow, there is a bit of okay. I'll have to get used to that. The link. Oh, she needs the link. If I do that. Live chat. Where's the channel? Oops. I shared the link with her. I just sent you the link. Now I sound yes. There's not much of a delay. Cool.
It's like just a couple seconds. Try not to kick the table too.
Ill. Okay. You should be able to see and hear us now.
This is gonna be loud.
Well, that should be fun. Oh, we have. So the question is, or whenever you're ready. I think Tim went to bed.
Tim went to bed.
I think Tim went to bed. Brad's a trooper. You should be able to see us live now. Ask Chastity what she thinks. Are we living in a simulation? Yeah. Did you tell anyone? Or?
I'm gonna text Austin right now and send the link.
I'm listening and awake. Tim, that's funny. Get haircuts, you hippies. Hair? I don't have any hair. That is funny. That's actually cool. That's funny. Oops. Okay.
I texted Austin.
Austin?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so the other day, well, I think I keep talking about it because I'm still not on board with us being in a simulation, but I have to admit, evidence is kind of adding up to make me think, oh crap, it's becoming more of a possibility, but I don't think so, only because how could you run a simulation and have that much suffering? That's someone doing that, like, unless, like we talked about, you said, maybe we're not the star of the show.
I don't think we're the point of the simulation. I think we're just a byproduct.
We're a byproduct of it.
Yeah.
But you do think we're in a simulation, and why? I mean, for me, it's like, what's the main reason why you think that, I would say?
Quantum mechanics, basically. It all just looks like a way to save compute. everything's probability. It's like that's like it really reminds me of like AI algorithms. So I think it's probably just one giant AI just simulating history or something.
But not us. Maybe not us.
Yeah.
Because I would have it like anyone that can run that. Any civilization that had that much technology, I would say, is probably not going to intentionally let suffering happen.
Right.
I don't see how you can get that far if you're still thinking primitive like that and not looking out for the greater good and not respecting life in general, I guess. Unless that person's
Well, they might not consider us life because we'd be in their simulation.
That's true, but kind of got me on that one a little. But they would still know that, as far as we're concerned, it's real.
Right.
You would think it would know that.
Unless they're scientists or sitting around a table arguing about whether or not the creatures in their simulation constitute real life, and how do we know? It looks like they have emotions, but how do we know if they really do?
Well,
basically the same
for like
argument.
AI or robot, I would say we can definitely say they don't have emotions because emotions are dependent upon hormones. We can inject you with dopamine and stuff and change your emotions.
Right. So if we created a computer, a simulation that could basically mimic something that we would look like, well, that's life, you would still be arguing, yeah, but it doesn't have it looks like it has emotions.
Well, even to me, that's not even the main thing. Like, say if I thought AI was like conscious, it would have to be. If it had emotions, that means I would have to see one of them kill itself, because emotions make things do irrational behaviors, whereas most AI will mimic irrational behaviors. But
how do you know they're mimicking?
I don't, for sure. There is
Right.
no way to tell. But there's no way for me to get inside anyone's brain
Right.
and test whether what they're saying is whether they're being honest or not, or what's really happening. I can't get in someone's head, and I can't see. We can't experience life from someone else's perspective exactly.
Right.
And so, I just can't. I guess that's a fallacy. Just because I can't imagine it, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Just caught myself into irrational thinking. But for me, what makes sense though is if someone had that kind of tech, I just don't see how 5,000 kids would be like dying every single day. There could be a way that maybe we aren't the subject. We can't be their subject. We obviously, if we're in a simulation and 14 billion years it took for us to get here,
right.
We're not the purpose of the study. Yeah. So I think even that said, they would have to see someone would see the anomaly, like, oh shoot, there's this some virus kicked off over here. It's human civilization, and yeah, it's pretty awful for the most part. Us born in America have no clue of what most of the world's like.
Yeah.
And I just don't see how some advanced civilization or anything that had intent or had agency, I would say that's hard to imagine them just letting that happen.
Right.
That kind of suffering.
You would hope so.
You would hope so, and I don't know, but I would just hope so. But I'd say, to me, logic naturally lends itself towards people becoming more humanistic, like just having humanistic values, wanting to increase flourishing. And so, yeah, but I could be wrong. I don't know, but until just a couple recent studies, I was pretty much like, yeah, that's a joke. We're not in a simulation, that's silly. But a couple of those last studies, I'm like, oh crap,
Yeah.
Maybe we are. Because when the quantum computer was simulating the universe, it was doing weird crap and it looked like algorithms and self-correcting algorithms. And at the end of the day, everything is information. It's all compute to me.
Yeah.
Well, not compute so much as...
Well, you could argue
it's
it is.
transforming and computing energy into matter, matter into energy. Time is an illusion, I think.
Yes, we do see the chat.
Yes, we do see the chat. Oh, I guess I'm looking at Brandon and not the screen. Does anyone have an opinion that's watching? I don't think so. What does that mean?
It's just like a fucking emoji.
Emoji?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I think we don't know anything for the most part. But as you have to pay attention to your screen so you know when people are contacting you.
We haven't missed anything.
Thank you. We haven't missed anything. No one's watching. Thank you for the heads up. I have 2 messages. I'll check. That is funny. That's cool that I like technology.
Yeah, it's cool.
You have tons of opinions. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, Tim.
What did Tim say?
I have a lot of opinions. Build the wall. What does he say? He keeps texting me. Okay, I'm listening awake. Get a haircut, you hippies. It would be long if you could grow it. Talk about boobs. Build the wall. I have tons of opinions. Okay, not me, him. Yeah, Tim, put him in the chat. We're waiting for your opinion. That is funny. That means he's watching us. Okay, thank you. Brad, damn, Tim, come on. That is funny. And so, what was I saying? Back on track. Yeah, I just don't see how someone could let that just proceed. You know, there's just too much suffering, I think, for me to think that someone would allow a simulation. And I could be totally wrong. It could be just weird scientists and they
could be ignorant
of it, or they just were like little ants.
Yeah.
Or like, I think it'd be hilarious, we're the idiots. If we're not the project, and they find out, maybe they're the cause of our own death.
Yeah.
That'd make a cool movie. I think I talked about before.
Yeah.
Somehow, we find out we're in a simulation, and by finding out, we told on ourselves, and then they unplug us. What a crappy way to go. That'd be funny. We could talk about me losing weight. I lost 12 pounds. Holy crap, really? Well, that's good, Brad.
Impressive.
That's pretty impressive. Keep it up. How are you? Actually, what are you doing? Are you eating less or exercising more? Because I know you have injuries, and so running might be tough. But riding a bike, he has badass bikes. We just stole one, but I couldn't get it back here. It's funny. I wonder if I have. Check it out. Tim, that's funny. Okay, good. He said, "Who am I talking to?" You. Can he see you? I'm talking to Brandon.
Yeah, he should be able to.
I'm talking to Brandon.
See it on the screen.
Okay, good. Both okay. Oh. So I would say, so good question. What would you be willing to bet we're in a simulation? Like your confidence level. Like how confident are you that we're in a simulation over this is actual, just base reality?
Okay, like the simulation that we were just talking about, like I'm very confident that there's like some computing, it's doing some sort of computation. So in that way, it's definitely, to me, I think it's definitely like some type of weird simulating thing. I don't know if it looks like, if you could have an outside perspective and see what that looks like. I don't know what that really looks like. If it looks like, a big room with a computer and there's a bunch of scientists around it, or if it's just weird. Just fucking weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm more assembly. I'm not. A lot of people are more about Big Bang or the range. I have more follow assembly theory, basically, for how the universe operates. I don't think time is real. I think that's an emergent property. When particles gain mass and interact with the Higgs field, we all of a sudden start interacting with other particles. That cause and effect, I think our brains, that's how we put it together and make sense of it.
Right.
But there's no such thing as time. Einstein kind of showed that with special relativity.
Brad said he loved the way the room turned out.
Oh, thank you, Brad. I have to keep watching that.
Yeah.
Lost 12 pounds. So, Brad, let me ask you a question. How's the basketball going? Did they make playoffs, or what's going on with his son? His son's a senior in high school, and he's a damn good athlete.
Mm.
My phone is going to die. It's like now down to red. I have like 2%. So.
You can plug it in.
Oh, we have a charger for it?
Yeah, I'll grab it.
Oh, Melissa's there. Why do you think we're in a simulation? Okay, so she just, okay, cool. Thank you, Melissa, for joining. So are you asking Brandon, why do you, I don't think we're in a simulation. Brandon kind of thinks we are. And so Brandon will have to explain again why he, well, so you think what, like a confident, like 75% confident or what? That we're in, because you don't think we're in base reality, that something is running a simulation. Like the hologram theory.
Yeah, I like that one too.
This is not an iPhone charger.
It's not?
Mm-mm.
Did they get a new port? Or is it the old iPhone?
It's the old. No, that's for like a LG or non-C. I think that's a regular C.
Mm-hmm. Yours doesn't take that?
No, I won't take it. Apple, they make their things not usable, but I'm good. Okay. 96 4Runner. I believe in love and off-roading. Well, so do I. A lot, actually. We did a lot of that. Who the heck is that? That's cool. Okay, so yes, Brandon. Melissa asked you, why do you think we're in a simulation?
Basically, quantum mechanics. Everything I look at, it just, to me, I make video games. I make simulated worlds, basically.
Yeah.
And every time, I'm just like, it's so similar. Like, you'll call out objects that aren't being observed to save RAM, basically. And I look at, like, double slit.
So, like, when you're in a video game, how, as you turn, that's when...
Like, a video game is observer-dependent, completely.
Just like special relativity.
Yeah.
Sort of. But the weird thing is, we've only been here 100,000 years, and yet we have dinosaurs. So
I don't think we are the point.
You don't think we're the point?
No.
I would 100% agree with that. Everyone thinks we're special.
No, I don't. Yeah.
If you look at the Earth from Jupiter alone, we are a speck of dust. That it looks like and that's only from Saturn.
It's probably Tim.
I bet that's Tim. Melissa's a beautiful woman. Tim. She is actually very, very attractive. And she likes you too. And so he's really doing well. And it's on the Missouri State. They offered him for football. Dude, is he gonna take it? He's a pretty good receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. And way bigger than Brad too. Well, not heavier, but bigger. He's like 6. How tall is your son? He's like 6'4"? I think he's like 6'4". And Tim. Yeah, I think 96 4Runner has to be Tim.
Yeah.
That's funny. We should take a toll. We should take a vote on.
I think we can do like polls in the chat and stuff.
Really?
Pretty sure. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I know you can do some cool stuff.
Because, like, Melissa, that's funny. Yeah. They're a sweetheart. Has to be Tim. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Especially with the 96 4Runner. He loves old trucks and whatever to fix up. We went down to San Diego and picked up a I don't remember what year it was.
Just to clean his room. It's pretty clean.
Yeah, this is actually very clean, considering. I might take your vape, Brandon. It's getting a little smoky in here. It's gonna get smoky in here. Well, I would think. Yeah, I still just don't think we're in a simulation because I guess I just think things are too nice. Nobody would really. I don't see how something intelligent would do that. And I probably am totally wrong. But I also don't think there's enough evidence I think this is base reality, and I think it's weird as hell. And I'm wrong. I know I'm going to be wrong, but I just think.
What do you mean base reality? Like you don't think it's part of something more complex?
I think we are not in a simulation.
Okay.
I think as us as people, we don't have access to base reality.
Right.
Yeah, everything we see is a damn illusion.
Yeah.
You just hope it maps onto reality very, very well.
Right.
Most people don't realize that. Your brain's always showing you 0.2 seconds in the future. By the time the light gets to your eyeball, gets to sends those action potentials to your visual cortex, the moment's gone, man.
Yeah.
And so our brain's always trying to show us the future. And so it's a predictive model making machine. And I think that'd be some pretty cool programming, I think, if we were a simulation. But I think that takes millions of years of evolution to result in us. And I don't think it naturally does. Like, look how many billions of years it took for something intelligent that can really question reality, where we live. The Earth's been here 4.5 billion years. And smarts has been here for 100,000 years.
Right.
A couple 100,000. And not even, to be honest, not even that long. Because human beings, we don't think logically, rationally at all. We think teleologically. We think everything happens for a reason. It's the way we're wired. And it's hard to overcome that. So until the Enlightenment, the Renaissance, and you had these people starting to question stuff, and we figured out the scientific method, well, that is when advances took place, because we actually gained knowledge and didn't mistake false beliefs for knowledge. Because I said the other day, I've never met anyone that said, I believe this, but I know it's incorrect.
Right.
And unfortunately, most people think their beliefs are knowledge. No, knowledge is a subset of beliefs. All right, for night, fellows, it's midnight here. I've been up since 5. Thank you, Brad. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, good night.
Good night. Hopefully I'll see you in a few weeks or so. I'll see Tim next Thursday, and he'll be on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. He has opinions about everything. It's just,
that'll be fun.
I think it's made of boobs. This will be Tim's answer to everything. Just boobs.
Yeah.
More boobs, please. Oh, so we picked up a 1975 F100. Bitching until the jack slipped and the truck fell on me.
Damn.
Oh, my hand and foot trapped me. Oh my God, they made those of steel back then. That thing was heavy. I got lucky; it didn't break anything, but it took a couple seconds to get the thing off me. I cried like a girl too. No, I didn't. Did I? I can't remember. I knew it hurt. Melissa, I have a question for her. Let's see if she's still there. And Tim's a trooper because I think they're an hour ahead of us. Right, Tim? Or 2? It's like almost midnight this time, I think. We only have 2 people here. How do you know who's there and who's not? So it's probably just Melissa and Tim still? Or they're all gone?
I don't know.
It's probably you and me.
Mine's off. It's not
Yours is
mine.
off?
It's 11.
We need like one more person. Because the banter will be better. But it's kind of tough watching that and then thinking about simulations.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff's complicated. Most people don't think about quantum mechanics because it's hard to think about it.
Right. There's Melissa.
There's Melissa. Yes. Cool. Okay. Oh yes. I have a question for her. Melissa, what? I want to word this correctly. That way, because she's very driven, and she's always go, 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 go. And sometimes we'll make decisions about what to do with business or money pretty impulsively. And so I guess I was going to ask, before you jump into something next time, are you going to do more research? Do you think that would be a good idea? And because it's no one's watching, so it's just us, really. But Melissa, she got the
You
Mercedes.
start roasting.
I
her
know.
whole
I'm going to
life
roast
soon.
her right now because I can. Well, she got these Mercedes that are very expensive for as car rentals, and it's like that's the most expensive car. And she could have just asked Tim, regional manager of Enterprise Rent a Car, and he would have told her in 2 seconds, "Don't buy those to have rentals. You want to get a little Toyota Yaris or something with very low operating costs." But Melissa gets an idea, and she just acts, which in some ways is really good because she
Yeah.
doesn't procrastinate.
Yeah.
Because I'm a procrastinator. I think you are too.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm the worst, but I got away with it. I could wait till the last minute and still get an A. So it was hard. Your mother would yell at me a lot. You wait till the last minute to do everything. It gets rewarded. I can't help it. I can't help it.
She said, "Listen."
Oh, listen. If I would have stuck with my business plan, I would have become successful. I fell off track and I no longer stuck to my goal, which is my failed attempt. That's very insightful. It's good that you are at least analyzing it and looking back at it and trying to be honest with, because a lot of people will blame everything else.
Yeah.
It was the outside stuff that reason why I failed.
Right.
The Illuminati don't like me. All the conspiracy people. And so I would say that's where you know better, and especially if you thought about it. You probably did just fall off track. You're easily distracted. But driven as hell. Steve, it would have made it. I agree. But the problem is learning. Sometimes when we learn stuff the hard way, we don't have enough resources to make it through, and that's why sometimes getting some prior information and doing like a market analysis, would be helpful, because that would have told you that to start you want to go very low investment, as low as possible so you can get a better return, But I could see her way of thinking too, because she thought Mercedes is going to rent for more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but guess how much it costs to replace brakes on those cars?
Probably a lot.
Yeah, 7 times more than on that Yaris, or that Honda Civic,
Yeah.
or I gotta quit clicking the table.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Melissa's right on that. Combination, a little more, and it helps if you really if you're passionate about something. It's easier to do the research,
Yeah.
and you probably just do it on the side anyway.
Right.
But if you're just trying to figure out what to do to get by, it's going to be more difficult to be successful because you won't have any real drive.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. For me, money's not a good enough motivator.
Yeah.
It has to be something I'm either interested in, or there's a real like I hated working in trucking. The people just drove me nuts, but there was a reason for that. That was to buy time. So for you guys, that was the whole purpose of that. I made it pretty successful so I could coach and be there every day.
Yeah.
And we could have fun and have free time, But I'll be honest, when you guys are adults, I'm so glad it's gone. It's weird. I am. But it's funny too, because now I watch my YouTube for quantum mechanics and all my physics and all the science stuff I love, because now I have more time, but I have no idea really. I know kind of what I care about. I care about people, and I care about idiots. Idiots, man. And it's not their fault. We have an education system that is broken right down to the core.
Yeah.
It's an indoctrination machine, and it has to be fixed, but I don't know how to fix it. I don't. Other than pointing out the obvious. When you have kids graduating high school in 2025, that think crystals have power,
Right.
or that think astrology is real,
Yeah.
or and it's just we're in the age of information, and we have people. Nobody knows how to.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't know what evidence is. They're just drowning in all this information, and yet we haven't given them any skills to how to wade through it. How do I know what's reliable or what's even worth listening to or giving? For me, like the easiest thing I do if I hear something new, I just go check and see if it's been falsified first. Because if it's been falsified, I don't want to waste any time on it.
Yeah.
Like astrology, ESP, magic, any kind of magic.
Yeah.
I think it's a disservice to talent. It's just wasting, because we have very smart people. But gosh darn, if we don't teach them how to use their brains,
Yeah.
then they can't. It's a skill. It's critical thinking skills have to be taught, and they have to be practiced, because we don't think critically. Nobody does.
Yeah.
And I think it's hilarious how we talked about it before. If I handed out 100 surveys and asked people, has your life demonstrated to you that you're noticeably smarter than most people around you? 99 to 100 yeses. Has your life experiences taught you that you are a good, disciplined, logical thinker for the most part? I would get 99 to 100 yeses. And then ask one of them, just what's a syllogism?
Yeah.
What's a fallacy?
Yeah.
Name one ego defense mechanism. And yet, if probably one person would be able to answer one of those with maybe one example.
Yeah.
Not many. And I hope I'm wrong on that, but
I don't think you are.
I don't think I am. And if I took a survey of teachers and asked them if they even knew what the word epistemology meant, I bet you less than 5% would know what that word meant.
Yeah.
And that is frightening.
It is.
You can't. How do you teach people
If you don't know how to think.
if you don't know how to think yourself, and you don't even know what that means? I hear this thing with pedagogy now. It's like, dude, get into epistemology first before you start talking about pedagogy, and moron. But it's not their fault. It's not the teacher's fault. It's not. Every single person that's involved with the Department of Education needs to be canned, fired. There's no excuse for the access we have to information that is reliable, is readily available, and yet we don't teach kids how to think. We teach them what to think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want my kid getting his time wasted learning pronouns. I'm sorry. You can learn that by having friends.
Yeah.
You learn that that's something social that changes over time. It doesn't need to be fucking taking up time in school. Why don't you teach them some fucking algebra?
Yeah.
Why don't you teach them, the logical absolutes? Why don't we do a little bit of that? Why don't we teach them a little bit about perception? How our brains work, and why seeing isn't believing, and why when you think something makes sense, I'll bet money it doesn't. Especially if they're justifying something.
Yeah.
If you took, or you tell a lie, I guarantee you're going to think it makes sense. And I promise you it doesn't.
Yeah.
And we should want to know more, though. Okay, so Melissa, thank you. Okay, so Melissa asked, how are you, well, I guess people can read it. How are you supposed to know something that was never taught to you? And no one in your family carries that skill at all. You cannot, hon. If you have not been exposed to it, you have no way of knowing it. It's not your fault. That falls on your parents. That falls on our education system. But at a certain age, it does start to fall on the adult. You should have some intellectual curiosity, I think. And we should care about the people around us enough to know that sometimes we're selfish, but we have to be honest with ourselves. And I think you learn that, especially when you have a kid, because you start seeing the world through their eyes, like, oh, what if someone did that to them? And I think that helps and protects us from getting numbed to where people become, like doctors the patient just becomes a number, or we dehumanize, especially with the internet now, because we're disconnected more, and so it's easier to dehumanize people, and so online bullying is very easy. But to answer your question directly, you if you've never been taught it, you have never been exposed to it, you don't know it. It's funny because I remember telling that to my stepbrother Jeremy. He couldn't understand why I did so good with my kids, how I live so much different. And I told him, I said, we got it demonstrated to us every day what not to do. But I also was living with my mother, and so I knew what it felt like to feel loved and secure. And then I went to this place where, oh my God, we were in hell. Nobody cared, and you're scared at the time. So, but that's all they ever knew, and so they didn't have a comparison really, where I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they said, oh, this place is fucked up. But what do you do? What can you do? So, yeah, it's absolutely not your fault at all. And that's why our education system needs to be fixed. Because, unfortunately, we have a generation now or two that literally think truth, they get to make it up as they on the fly. My truth. It's like, holy crap. What the hell happened? We have kids in college that have such a sense of entitlement. They think they're teaching the professors, literally telling them what they need to do. Like on that video you showed me.
Yeah.
What happened at that Evergreen College. That is a level of ignorance that is frightening. And these so-called intellectuals will sit there and literally say moronic stuff.
Yeah. Teachers,
and it's scary. And I don't know. Well, I know how it happens. It's rooted in our politics. That we have senators and congressmen that are there forever, and so everyone's got their hand in there. He's got their hand in everyone's pocket. It's just, and so all of a sudden we get sold. I get so sick of hearing the teachers union. It's for the kids, really, because they fucking can barely read and write.
You're right.
And they can't think at all. And so, it's horseshit. I have hope that AI, it's easier for someone to hear from a machine that, hey, that was fallacious, man. That was really dumb thinking. Are you serious? You think like that? It should be able to say that too. Because some stuff it needs to be punished severely. And that's the way to stop it. We talked about it before. For punishment to work, it has to be immediate and severe. And so we don't do that well unless, our kids sticking the fork in the outlet. Whack! That punishment is highly effective. But other than that, most people don't do it right. And so we turn our kids into liars. It causes avoidance behavior or fear. And that's a bad thing for a parent. Why the hell would you want your kids afraid of you?
No.
You're supposed to protect them.
Did you see her new message?
No. I think the education system limits us to what they want to make available. They don't want to let us know too much so that we stay at a certain stagnant level. Brandon, I'll let you answer that because I'm a little confused on limits. Okay, so you think they don't limit, okay, so I'd say they don't limit information. They can't really because there's Google. But yeah, I think
you could definitely say that the right information is not being taught.
That, yeah, it's propaganda.
Yeah.
They're indoctrinating our kids into thinking one way.
Right.
They're not teaching them how to think, they're teaching them what to think. And so they can't block information because we have freedom. You look at North Korea, they have 23 websites and they're almost all news channels from, it's all state run.
Right.
They barely, most of them, 90% of them don't have electricity anyway.
Yeah.
So, but I think what you're saying can look like that in certain areas, especially where there's poverty and crime. Because you don't have access to information. You don't, but I don't think that's I think that's an artifact of the situation. I think the education system literally teaches towards more funding. It's all geared and teaching towards tests. So we have a way to measure our success, even though we manipulate it all and make stupid ass goals that are silly. You know, why would an education system have a goal of making kids more sensitive to the personal pronouns people want to have? What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's insane to me. You know, and it's to me, it's just it's a part of the political machine now, really.
Well, it is because it's state run.
It's state run,
Inevitable.
Yeah, especially when you have teachers unions,
Yeah.
And stuff. So I think it's turned into its own little bureaucracy and its own little ideology, and you could see it where we're supposed to be,
but it's
freedom of thought encouraged, and yet they're trying to stomp people out and shut them up.
Right.
In a place of higher learning.
It's the same ideology that's in mainstream media.
Yeah. And the problem is they feed you and steer you. That's why people get one side, because it's their side. And so they just filter in information from their side. You know, some people get all their info from TikTok. And I've heard some really weird shit that people thought was true because of TikTok.
I have two. One was Austin.
That is not reliable. One is Austin.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I don't want to roast them on a live stream.
So my brother had a worker that literally thought there was evidence in that the pyramids were built by aliens and all that stuff. Why? Because these experts on the History Channel, you know, they had literally told them that.
Yeah.
Yeah, chasing aliens. And I said, dude, I looked up the producers. None of them even have a year of college. They're all just idiots.
Yeah.
That, because they don't understand it, it's got to be aliens.
Yeah.
Everything we can't explain, it's either God or aliens.
Yeah. I sent the link to Austin, so hopefully he'll hop in.
Yeah, I think the education system wants us to advance in areas that it likes, technology, but they do. It's like a philosophy that I think you get indoctrinated into.
Well, I think
everyone comes out progressive, liberal.
Yeah, hard sciences are like semi-safe.
Yeah,
just because they're.
And history professors are almost always Republican.
Yeah, it's just funny.
It's funny. They're always conservative because it shows too much liberalism ends in catastrophe.
It does.
It just does every time. It repeats itself in history over and over and over.
Yeah.
You know, until capitalism, it's been the haves and have-nots. Feudalism, you know, traditional economies were hunter-gatherers and agriculture. It was shared property, but it was your kin.
Right.
It was, everyone shared, because it's my aunt, my uncle, you know, my cousin. But it, you know, as soon as we started trade and stuff like that, it was feudalism. You had nobility that had land, and then you had people that worked the land for protection.
Right.
And everyone, it was like you were the aristocracy or you were the peasants. And then once we had, you know, these market forces come in, spice trade and these merchant class popped in, then they started wanting rights because they had money. And that's when you start getting revolutions, you know. But then as soon as we had the Industrial Revolution and steam power came in, holy crap, that completely changed.
Oh, even just the introduction of private property.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Huge. Adam Smith, The Wealth of Nations.
Yeah.
He gave us the foundation for the logic behind why free markets, capitalism should be favored. And he was right. But it's not perfect.
No.
Capitalism drives innovation, but unchecked, it can turn into cronyism. And it is right now, basically.
Yeah, it is.
It is. You know, it's big business runs the government. Really.
So how do you bridge that? Do you say too much capitalism ends up in cronyism? We have a lot of regulation right now, but
it's the wrong kind of regulation.
How do you make sure that it's the right regulation though?
I don't think it's necessary. I think there needs to be a push towards having companies just change their philosophy from profits above people, shareholders above employees. It should be human flourishing first, in the context knowing that we have to be profitable to be in business.
Yeah, right.
And so, but with that, in that context, you're going to be more competitive anyway, because people know when they're valued. People know when this company is doing everything they can for them, because you offer more training, and you don't get reprimanded like most companies. We're going to catch you being good. We want to encourage and reinforce behaviors that are efficient or cooperative. Anytime someone helps someone like out in something, dude, that's the oil that makes companies run smooth. Those are pro-social behaviors that are highly important, but they're not part of the formal structure. But they're very, very important, and they can make a big difference. And so when companies are a great place to go, and they should be, because you spend most of your waking hours at work, it should be fun, engaging. Even if it's stuff you don't want to do, the people there can make it better. Unfortunately, most of the time, capitalism sometimes results in, especially when it turns ugly, inequality. And then you have this base work class that is in opposition to management. But they should have a higher goal, and there should be none of that conflict when it's done right. Management should be grooming and bringing up everyone that's at a lower skill level. And they should be increasing their skills and encouraging it through positive reinforcement. And not just, you violated this safety rule, or you picked up your phone, and you're getting reprimanded.
Right.
Dude, so when the paper jams, do you think he's nice to the machine? No, he doesn't even like being there.
Yeah.
So he's going to cost you money that people don't realize or see. And I think if you do it correctly, you get to these organizations that are highly cohesive, very good team building, and they work well and help each other, and they're highly successful. What was that?
It was a notification.
Oh.
Steam notification.
Oh, Steam notification?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think no one's here, right? No more viewers.
This is one. I sent the link to Austin. He'll probably check it out.
Okay, we can leave it on. Let's because it was bullshit anyway.
Yeah.
You never who pop. Maybe Amanda will pop in. I texted her and asked her if we can interview her. And I want to interview Melissa too about that stuff. But Amanda has strong opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
About karma. Yeah, astrology. Austin.
Oh, there he is.
What's up,
Speak
gentlemen?
of the devil.
We are doing well. Oh, I am. Well, yeah, I am. I'm stoned right now. So he missed the whole... Does Austin think we're in a simulation?
I have no idea. Austin, do you think we're in a simulation?
I think at the end of the day, we're kind of like just information arranged in this manner that comes as matter.
75% sure.
Dang. Why? Why do you think we're in a simulation? Like, what would be the biggest thing that makes you think so? I don't think so, because I have never seen a glitch in the Matrix.
We definitely see things that we don't understand.
At the quantum level, we don't understand. Yeah.
So how can you, until you understand it, how can you distinguish between this is something I don't understand versus this might be a weird glitch in the system? You can't really.
I can't. But I would expect to see. I would expect to see violations sometimes that just don't seem to occur, But I do think there's a good chance that it's something none of us can fathom.
Yeah.
But it could. I wouldn't be shocked. Like if we really find out, because the last couple studies, too many coincidences and too many Mandela effects. What do you mean? So the Mandela effect, is that when a lot of people thought they saw Mandela?
Right.
Those
That's like the
mass hallucinations.
There's
are
one with
a
like
psychological phenomenon. Yeah.
There's one with like the Bernstein Bears. Like it's not Bernstein, it's Berenstein.
And okay. And coincidences, that's just our brains. We don't understand probability at all. We don't get it. Our brains can't. So we make connections that just aren't there.
Yeah.
You know, it's hilarious how our brains make connections and will add significance to them. And that's how psychics work. It's a play on our brains, you know, and they just look for little ones. If your eyes open a little wider, they know they got a hit,
Yeah.
you know? And so I think, number one, we don't need it to explain how the universe works. We don't need anything from outside. We understand the mechanics down to how atoms are formed, you know, muons and gluons, and there may be some new strange particles actually too.
Yeah.
They just found out, like, we have basically baryons and the fluorions or whatever. There might be a third class particles that they just yesterday, this paper came out, I think yesterday, where the math actually shows, there's a third possibility. Not because usually if you take the square root, you know, of x squared or x, it'd be plus or minus.
That's all it took to make me curious on the fact that technology is getting so advanced. I feel like it would eventually be possible to make simulated life very similar to real life. That's basically the argument as well. That's the argument.
That's the argument that says,
uses.
you know, if we are in a simulation, if it's possible to do it,
if we're able to do it,
that
then
means
it's like, oh shit, are we really the base reality?
If we are able to create a universe that will run on its own like this, then I would have to say, we're probably in one. Because if there's only one base reality, but there could be millions of
what are the chances,
simulations running.
What are the chances?
So the odds are
the
we're in a simulation. The odds would be we're in a simulation.
Yeah.
But we could be the ones that make the first simulation with a quantum computer.
It's possible.
I just think I'm not sure, man. My brain sometimes, I go back and forth now because we get new information so often, so I'm always changing.
Try not to kick the...
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right. And so I'm always changing what I think about reality as I, you know, because I thought particles were real. Try to get the right word. Because the truth is, somehow we're here, but we're weird fluctuations in the quantum fields. You know?
We're like, it's all probability.
Yeah.
Everything's in a superposition of all possible
once
states.
We're observed, it collapses, and I think that's what makes us solid. But we're not really solid. But we are, but we're not. But, you know.
Right, so that's what...
At the quantum level, like light is weird. People don't realize that. It's not a damn photon. It's not a particle until it hits something, until it interacts. Until then, it is a disturbance in the electromagnetic field. You know, people like electrical lines. There's not electrons running through the lines. The power, when you hit the switch, there's no power running through.
Right.
The electrons go back and forth. It's alternating current that creates the electromagnetic field around the wire, and the power is actually transferred to the air around the damn wire, not in it. There's not a bunch of electrons going through that damn wire. It's just making that electromagnetic field go through, and the power actually is moving through that field and not through the wire. And so I don't know shit. I would not be surprised because I think I told you. I'm pretty sure the most ironic statement or line from a movie is going to be when in the three body problem when they said, "Has the universe ever winked back at you?" And when they had the AIs do that double slit experiment, it looked like maybe it winked back at them. I don't understand. I have to watch that. I have to read a lot on that because, yeah, it's a very strange experiment.
Yeah.
the light, there was a weird phenomenon going on when the observer was an AI and not a human observer. There was some strange shit that looked like, well, honestly, it looked like fucking computer programming, which is frightening as hell. Like there's self-correcting code. Looks like that. Well, the cosmos looks like a brain.
Right.
When we back up the cosmic web, holy shit, it looks very close to brain. Doesn't mean it is one.
Right.
Just similar structure. I don't think that thing is thinking.
Right.
Otherwise I think we have way more fireworks. We see a lot more shit going on when the James Webb's looking. I think if it was really like aware, dude, unless time is just so much different.
I was gonna say, what's the time dilation like here?
Yeah.
What's base reality
massive.
like for the external system?
Yeah, because time is an emergent property, I think, of quantum interactions. When something has mass, then we have interactions, and that our brains come up with time to put it all together, I think. But yeah, there is no such thing as time. It's literally an artifact of interactions. That.
Can you slide me that?
Yeah. Can I what? Slide this?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so complicated. I even lost. I already forgot it. I thought I knew something. I don't know. No, it's don't. Can't. Sometimes it's hard to explain. Yeah. But my brain's always changing. Like, I see time differently now because I know it's an emergent property, but it's built into the structure, the geometry of the universe. Literally now we have clocks that are so sensitive. It shows the difference in time dilation between each molecule. So each molecule has its own timeline. That's its own timeline that's going through. And so we time travel even now. People don't realize that. Special relativity, people think length, like in physics, there's two lengths. There's absolute length, and there's length when something's in motion relative to you. So if there's say we have a train that's 50 feet long, right? And we can measure that, 50 feet. But if it's in motion, guess what? We can also say it's moving at 25 meters per second. And so we can hit the clock right when the front hits, right? And then stop it. And then you could do the calculation. Guess what? Oh shit, it's shorter. What the fuck happened? That's called, it's compressed because each one's going through time differently. And what's weird is, let's just say I saw this thing. So say we have this fucking 40-foot bar, right? It's like this piece of bar. And then we have a train little thing but the little train cart is only 20 feet or 20 meters. And so if we are going really fast through this 40-foot, can we get that? We can't fit that bar in the house. But if we get very close to the speed of light, we can. It's fucking weird. What'll happen is time, I had to graph it almost, because each one has its own perspective. Right. And so from the bar's perspective, as it's traveling almost really, really fast, it sees itself as normal time. But the stationary cart actually gets warped. And so from its perspective, when it comes in, it'll show it's going fast, it'll flatten. And it even happens in particles. In the Large Hadron Collider, the goddamn gluons and muons will do that. They will flatten and compress in the way that they're going in the motion that they're going through time. And so you can get from its perspective, or maybe it's from the Barnes perspective. I think, yeah, from the Barnes perspective, it's going close to speed of light. And you close both doors. But from this guy's perspective, that close this one, and then you have to wait for the back end to come and close. There's a video on YouTube that shows it actually better than I can explain it because I'm too stupid. I don't fully understand, but the geometry is awesome. It shows here's space, no, here's time. And so the car is stationary, so it just goes through time like this, right? The bar is moving. And so the bar it's going through time, but it's also traveling through space. that intersection, time dilation happens. And what happens really from when you see both happen at the same time, it's because the damn cart now goes like this from its perspective. And so literally the front part over here hits the time first. And as it comes, you have to wait until the back section hits there. And so you're literally seeing what I'm seeing in the future. And it's a very short time.
Right.
But the geometry is really cool if you do it right. Time's here, but from the change of perspective, all of a sudden that bar won't fit in the house like this. But if you change the house like that, now as it's going through, it hits this part first. And time gets scrunched a little bit on the geometry. And the back gets scrunched a little bit. And so it fits perfectly. And so from this perspective, you can close both doors at the same time. But from the other perspective, dude, it literally, front one goes first. And it can't be time dilation. Why? Because the one that happens second happens first for the one in motion because of the tilt. And so it's not time dilation. It's literally showing that reality is fucking weird. Like,
Yeah.
and then it shows that time is an artifact. It's a weird artifact because photons don't experience time.
Right.
Why? They have no mass. And until something has mass, if it has mass, it can't travel at the speed of light. But then it also starts experiencing time. And I think it interacts more with the Higgs field, and so it's more affected by gravity and the curvature of space. What I don't understand is our universe is supposedly flat, but space-time is curved. And around a black, it has to be so localized. I don't understand that. Like,
Yeah.
it's very hard for my brain to conceptualize how the universe could be flat, expand forever, but it can also be warped. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so if I have this table, how the hell is the sun? I don't understand how it's flat. To me.
Yeah.
I guess they would say it's got a bulk in there, and so everything happens in the bulk. But even when we look at galaxies, they say it's flat, but you'll see galaxies here, but one of them's off and it's coming in from the wrong direction.
Right.
And so I'm just confused as fuck. That I need someone to like explain that to me. That
Yeah.
would be cool.
Yeah.
What you say someone didn't already get that advance before us? I would say there's a very good possibility there that maybe that happened, but I don't think the universe is designed in a way that there's a lot of selective pressure towards high intelligence. Because if there's a world and it's all water, you can never have electricity because metals don't. You can't have solid metal. You can't. So you're gonna have really cool shit like we have in our oceans, but they can't use tools. You can't use electricity and water. You can't build a transistor out of water.
Yeah.
And metals don't even say, they just dissolve usually. And so
If they were able to get like some ability to manipulate their environment, like if they had thumbs, like that's a big advantage.
It's a
Being
big
able
advantage,
to
but
manipulate your
in the
environment.
water, why would you have a thumb?
Right. But I'm saying if they could get a way to manipulate their environment, I wouldn't put it past a super intelligent species to figure something out.
I just don't think there would be any. It costs too much. Brains eat up so much fucking energy. Like it's dangerous to be human back then because, dude, our brains use so much energy. We have to take in massive amounts of food
Right.
and energy, and so it's a high cost. And I don't see how there'd be a big enough advantage if you're in the water, and
I mean,
because they're really smart now.
Orcas are really smart.
Yeah, but that's about as smart as I think they'll ever get, and they've been there hundreds of millions of years.
I mean, octopus are pretty smart too. There's
They
a
are,
lot
and
of
they've been around.
smart
Think about how many
species.
millions of years. Look how smart we are in just 100. Homo sapiens, 300,000 years.
Right.
But octopuses have been around 15 million years, and they're highly intelligent, but up to what their environment needs.
Right.
Look at that. They all change colors, man. That thing will look like a fucking rock, and then literally just turn into it'll look like a poisonous fish.
Right.
And so I think they're highly intelligent, but I don't think there's a reason for them to ever like question reality.
Sure, they're surviving.
It's too much survival mode. And there's nothing for them. What can they can't do a chemical reaction. Like they can not accidentally ever start a fire. Us, holy shit, lightning caught that thing on fire. There's chemical reactions that are going in front of them. It's hard there'd be nothing like that.
I mean, there's chemical
Thermal vents,
I was gonna say there's chemical reactions and shit going on in the thermal vents.
but not like something sustainable like a fire.
Sure.
It just cools off so fast and it feeds them. And so it provides, they might want to figure out how do we make these thermal vents, because octopuses, they like pick up shit and like put it on them
Yeah.
But I don't see how there's any way for like sending out radio signals, that there's just no way to have power like that. Submerged underwater 100% limits what you can do to advanced technology. It just does. And unless one of those fish somehow come out of the water, which we did,
Right.
I think that's the only way to get there. And I don't know, there wasn't enough, 4 billion years. 4 billion years this planet's been around, and it just now had life get smart. Now the universe has been around for 14 billion years, so there's been plenty of time. But I don't think we're special. I think we're probably pretty average, and I think so for most planets in the universe, it has to be pretty stable for a very long time for high intelligence to evolve. And so I just think, man, too often, something from outer space hits you. You get whacked, because we've been whacked by some meteors
Right.
that wiped out the life that was there at that time. The universe is not kind.
No.
One supernova in your neighborhood, sorry, you're done, dude. We just got electricity and the star fucking blew up. Oh, well, goddamn it. And the funny thing is, nobody cares. I don't mean like people, but I just mean like, it's funny to me, like, because if some supernova wiped out our galaxy, if you're in the Andromeda galaxy, you don't know or give a damn, and life moves on. The universe just goes on. It's it's funny to me when people make us the center, like we're the purpose of the universe. Really? I think that's laughably, demonstrably false.
Yeah.
We would have been here a long time ago.
Yeah. Unless, again, that time dilation thing. Unless from whatever perspective, time is different.
Yeah. Yeah. Time is different. I mean, but I guess because I'm thinking like if it's an alien, it's like our size or something, but maybe they're giants.
Yeah.
They're just these massive, massive bundles of energy and structure and so massive, and we're like little quarks.
Right. We have no way of knowing, really.
We don't have any way of knowing. I do know, I think we're part of something that we can't really hardly imagine because it's so huge.
Yeah.
Like our observable universe. But if we're in a Andromeda galaxy, that observable universe is going to be different. And I bet you they see stars
Yeah.
that are the same distance that we see. It may be infinite.
You answered his questions.
I just rewatched Interstellar and I need to understand more.
Above that, he said, is there a way to prove that there is a fifth dimension?
Yes, but we don't have the technology yet. So we have particle colliders, and when we smash them together with enough energy, if there is a fifth dimension, or 11 dimensions according to string theory or
Right.
M theory, and I like it. It has a lot of explanatory power. String theory does. I gotta go doing that.
Yeah.
M theory. And so, yes, there is a way, I think, to find that these particles, we would see energy dissipation that violates something as it travels through different dimensions. But it's so small, it'll take a long time for us to ever have. We'll have to have particle colliders like as big as the orbital of Jupiter. Chicken broth is playing counters. What?
That's a notification.
Oh, I just watched Interstellar.
No, that was just a notification that popped up.
Oh,
Um,
what are you pointing at?
I was gonna say I made Austin start watching a 3 Body Problem.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch more of that?
Because that's really cool science.
Yeah.
And it's a show that's based on real science. The three body problem is an
Yeah.
actual. I bet you quantum computers might solve it.
Yeah. It's a real issue.
It's a real issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't spoil it yet.
Oh, because I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, not far. We finished like one episode,
Oh, it's so good.
or maybe two.
It's so good. And that's why I think that's the line is the universe ever winked at you. I think that's going to be very it's going to be a very ironic statement. I think.
Okay, we'll make that.
Okay, so Interstellar. I just rewatched Interstellar. I need to understand more.
That's such a good movie.
So you can help my monkey brain understand. Yes. But I would say the monkey brain is probably better. It doesn't suffer from as many ego defense mechanisms. They're so scary.
Monkeys?
Yeah. They are fucking... Dude, a chimpanzee is just... If you have a chimp as a pet, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, it's gonna kill you.
It will kill you and it will enjoy it probably.
Yeah.
Like literally have joy
Yeah.
and not be ashamed of it.
That movie was so fucking funny with the orangutan.
Oh!
Brothers?
Brothers, yeah. Dude, great actors too, man.
Yeah.
And it didn't get a lot of advertising, but they're both Academy Award winners or nominees.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Okay, Dimensions.
Okay, so
It's so hard to even think about what that looks like.
because we can't. It's like so we have like this thing called we have residual space or whatever. Just these different like the chemical space. So like if you think about a chemical, just any basic protein, all those chemical things, all the different ways it can fold together would require more space than the universe has.
Right.
But it fits in this tiny little.
Just goes so fucking
It's
small.
so in string theory, these other dimensions are so compacted we don't have access to them.
Right. They're
Until we get something powerful enough
So are they
to peer into that.
Are they like literally tiny pieces of space folded in on itself?
Yes.
Practically.
So the geometry is really crazy. It's hard to visualize. I can't even visualize 4 dimensions,
Right.
let alone 11. But computers can't
Yeah.
mathematically, and so you can see it. And there's these weird.
I've seen
They're like these weird what are they
Tesseract
called?
things.
Yeah. Those manifold things too.
Yeah.
That just have, there's a special manifold that you have to go around twice before you actually get to where you started. And I some of that stuff I forgot a lot.
Dude,
but
there's a dude who made a game that has 4 spatial dimensions. And so you'll be walking around and then all of a sudden an object will phase in and then phase back out.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
So that is so cool. Like if you can, damn, that'd be a cool thing to try to code. But I want to code these creatures with different shapes and all the different shapes with little triangles or something, and have them have to get resources. If you get enough resources, you get to reproduce.
Yeah.
And but if you don't get resources within 5 iterations, you die.
Yeah.
And so they'll learn, but the overall goal is to find strategies to get as many mates as you can. Or
We could do you can't mate until you find X amount of food.
Food, yes.
We could also have predation.
Yeah, you have to have predators.
Yeah. So that'll be another stressor.
As soon as you get predator prey, you have explosion of diversity.
Yeah. And even just in behaviors too.
Yeah.
Without predation, there's no packs.
Yeah.
Packs form to protect the herd.
The herd, yeah.
Without predators, that's not really necessary.
No.
Unless you want a family unit,
a lot
but
of
that's it.
A lot of creationists will point to that fact, how did all these creatures just all of a sudden just pop up, and you're like, okay, the change of these epochs isn't a day.
Right.
But the Cambrian explosion. Well, dude, that's when predators were announced. That's when shit started getting eaten.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you had all this diversity. Why? Because the pressure to mutate and change and be faster or hide, defend itself.
The environment was out of nowhere, suddenly much more complex and
Yeah.
required much more complex behavior to survive.
Yeah. And what's funny is it doesn't require much. You have to have just one goal, and that's survive and reproduce. And look what happens. Especially with, because the environment's just, it's amazing how life finds a way.
Yeah.
You go down to the Marianas Trench, and the shit down there is freaky as hell. You know, they don't have eyes, and almost all of them glow in the fucking dark. You know, bioluminescence, and they look like monsters. They'll literally...
I mean, we figured out how to fly because we looked at biology.
Biology.
We figured out batteries because we looked at fucking electric eels.
Eels, yeah. Yeah.
Like, that one always blows my mind because it's like...
Dude, and they can
that
send
is a
some volts
that is
through
a
you, too.
living thing that has, like, harnessed electricity. That's fucking awesome.
And it can generate a lot of volts. Like, it'll fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll get you.
Yeah.
And the poisons that animals have devised.
Yeah. Poison and venom.
Venom. You know, there was an
Man.
idiot woman that had all these snakes. She had a black mamba as a pet.
Oh my god.
Dude, she didn't secure the fucking enclosure for the mamba. It got out, dude, bit her. Dead as hell.
Yeah,
Quick as
there's
hell.
nothing you can do.
Now you're dead.
You're dead.
Why would you ever have that in your vicinity?
That's just a, oh, shit
Dude,
moment.
dude, could you imagine that? I'm dead. Dude, that's so weird. Or the fucking girl that she was like an influencer, Korean or Asian girl, very good looking, really fit, climbs all this fucking shit, all these mountains and stuff, goes to take a selfie, dude, and just slips.
Oh,
Slips.
shit.
Right there on camera.
Fuck. That's awful.
And then there was a couple, the same fucking thing. They got engaged and they just wanted to take that beautiful picture in India. And to get to the edge or some crap, man, they both slipped.
That sucks.
That sucks.
I'm so glad I'm afraid of heights because I never
Me too.
did.
I don't get
never
close to the edge.
I'm like, all right, that's good enough. That's good enough.
There was a lady that was getting close to take a picture. Someone behind her, another tourist, slipped and hit her. Dude, into the water, drowned, got washed away. All because she got so close. They want that perfect picture.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there was a Chinese girl, an influencer, 23 years old, worked in a crane all day long in China. But she would do her little dances and stuff. And so one day she's up there right before she gets off, does one more dance. She just dropped her phone, went to catch it, and slipped and fell off the top of the crane. 40 fucking meters.
That sucks.
And you just see it.
That's awful.
I just don't even understand. It's like, oh my, what is going through your eye? Why did I do that?
Some people just like don't have that survival mechanism in them.
It's like,
It's
yeah.
like they think they're like playing in a fucking video game. Like, yeah, just do whatever I want to do.
Yeah. They have that falls in India too, where like 2 people died within a week because idiots were trying to do selfies.
Yeah.
Signs, don't walk on the cliffs. In that fall, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was like, dude, when they went to pull his body out, I was like, just broken.
Fuck.
You got a rock you're gonna hit.
Just knowing that on the way down.
Dude, that's just like, you're gonna be so pissed at yourself for 1 second.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's like, fuck, I just fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm dead. I remember saying that once. I have been in that situation. Lost control of the car right on the cliff.
Yeah.
And they grabbed right at the edge.
Oh shit.
I was 17 years old. And I remember thinking, well, this sucks.
Choosing their phones over their lives. Our generation is cooked.
We have a lot. It's going to be weird. People are going to be we're going to be kind of lonely. And that's happened more and more now. People don't get together as much.
Yeah.
They do it like through their phones.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just spend, I think, more time alone.
Yeah.
And I think that's dangerous because I'll be honest, we're losing population. Like our population will start declining pretty soon.
Yeah.
You know, as India and Mexico and they get more technology and more civilized, they have less kids.
Yeah.
Like, dude, right now there's like 50 places that'll pay you to go live there.
Yeah.
Especially in Italy, where everyone's old and dying, and they don't have the immigration. Most of Europe,
They don't have the workforce.
they don't have the workforce.
to produce anything.
But they make you start a business. Like, dude, no, there's no one left here. How can I start a business?
Yeah.
You know, some of them, but because I was like, dude, they want to pay me, I'll teach.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of restrictions. You have to stay there 10 years, dude. Even Canada has a couple places that they pay you to go there, or they sell you the house for $1,
Yeah.
but then they make you fix it up. I don't know. Or like Switzerland, dude, they'll pay big money, but like you have to be under 40, and you have to have kids and stuff because they need kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the towns I guess doesn't even have any kids left.
That's crazy.
Isn't that so weird?
I like how it's the complete opposite scenario that like all those people thought it was going to be. They're like overpopulation is going to destroy the world, and
Many
now it's like
countries
no,
are struggling right now.
We're going to run out of fucking people.
Yeah, we're going to run out of fucking people.
Because they're all going to be old.
Literally, yeah.
It's going to be a world of old people.
And we don't reproduce. You give women independence and money, they don't like us as much. They just like childbirth sucks. It changes a woman. It takes their life especially goes down after a couple kids. You know, it's a lot of energy you're sucking out of your body.
Yeah.
You know, so I think we're gonna have to have babies in vats.
I think a lot of people just don't want kids too. Like I know a lot of people
who
are
like,
I
all
don't
fucking
want kids.
selfish.
Yeah.
And I think if you're selfish, you shouldn't have kids.
Yeah.
You know, I wish when you went to the hospital and got pregnant, they gave you had to take a parenting class. Like it should be required. You know, in our society now, there's no excuse.
At least give them a fucking pamphlet.
A pamphlet or something.
Like something.
Something. You know, because it's so easy. So there's certain rules you live by. You focus on behaviors, not them. You know, when you did this, it made me feel this way. But as soon as you say you're a dick, well, I can't change me. And so if you tell yourself that, if you keep telling yourself that your partner is a dick or a loser, you're going to believe that.
Yeah, you're going to start to
believe it. And you're going to start to believe it, and you're going to start to have resentment.
Yeah.
And the problem is, you're the one who's pigeonholed the relationship because they can't change who they are. Dude, if I'm an asshole, I'm sorry. I love you. I don't want you to be with an asshole.
Yeah.
You know, so I have to go. But guess what? If you say the behavior that I did that made you feel that way, you gave me a chance to show you I care. I can change my behavior. Yeah. I can't change who I am, though.
I don't know if I should say this on live stream. I think it's only Austin in here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just Austin's the only one left.
One congruent. Okay. I'm debating.
Yeah, it's hard to, change the names of the innocents. I've done it too, where I've talked about Ryan or stuff, but a lot of that's public information, though. Why? Because almost everything is now, because it listens. People don't realize just how much stuff is tracked. But I'll be honest, I don't really care that much now. Unless it's used against me.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I don't care now. But if I was a lot younger, things could change. Power goes in different hands. Once that genie bottle's open, you don't get to close it.
With like Amazon or like Google, like I don't really give a shit if they have my data. Yeah. They're using it to
think about medicine. They're gonna have your DNA and your genetic, everything about you. So medicine will be they're gonna have to have a lot.
I am more worried about this is why I never use TikTok. I'm more worried about the Chinese government having my data. That's like one level up from
they always steal our data, and then they keep announcing all these cool ass things they come up with, and oh god, that looks just like just Anthropics, or they basically hijack our code, but they improve on it.
Yeah.
Why? Because they have a workforce that they just force them to work until they die almost.
Yeah. Why? I've been thinking about this a little bit. Why does the Chinese economy? Why are they so good?
Shit. TikTok knows more about me than I do.
I believe it, dude. That algorithm is a perfect distillation of your brain. It's crazy.
I think I have it, but I don't use it ever.
Even the one on Instagram is fucking good.
Really?
Like every single reel is, not every single one.
Well, if you're posting all these videos, it's learning all about you.
Yeah.
It can if it's doing that.
And it has all your watch history and the things that you liked, and it just distills it.
In some ways, I like that because then you get targeted marketing. Because I don't want to get inundated with shit I'm not interested in.
Too. So that's why everything on my YouTube homepage, I'm interested in that shit.
Yeah, me too. Everything pops up as just science crap.
Yeah.
Or critical thinking channels,
Yeah.
or the atheist experience, or I subscribe to too many channels.
Me too. I got like
I have to delete a
hundreds and
bunch of
hundreds and hundreds.
Oh, I don't have hundreds, but like I think like 20 or 30.
I have like hundreds.
Hundreds you
Yeah.
subscribe to?
Yeah. I have I pay for fucking premium every month. YouTube Premium, so I have ads.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube.
I end up watching, like, I'll be honest, my mom kind of hates some of it because it's always educational stuff and she doesn't understand a lot of it. That's why I like her watching it.
Yeah.
I have to have that run in the background just so hopefully some of it sinks in. It's
like you're trying to give the people are just like AI models. You're just trying to give her like the right training data to make her think better.
Yeah, that's all. Everybody can learn to think better.
Yeah.
The problem is most people can't control their own damn emotions.
But you can get better at that too.
Hell yeah.
That's the
It's
cool
emotional
thing.
intelligence.
Yeah.
It's called being an adult.
Dude, just the fact that the human brain can like change so much is like fucking awesome.
Highly adaptable.
Like if you're
We thought after 25 it was kind of stagnant and slowly done.
Yeah, that's not true.
That's not true. It's very highly
Yeah.
adaptive.
And
It
there's
recovers.
ways to increase the neuroplasticity. It's just like exercise,
Yeah.
work out,
Work.
get good sleep, shit like that. Like your
I
brain
think there was a
becomes
study
more
where
plastic.
they stuck just a ping pong table at like a retirement home. Dude, like memory problems and all these health stuff.
Yeah,
The people that
it's-
played it went away.
Very important.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
even like cardio exercise is as good as antidepressants. If you do I think it's like if you do cardio 4 days a week or something, 30 minutes,
Yeah.
it releases those endorphins and it's as effective as any antidepressant medication.
Yeah.
And it's a
Huge.
habit that you can keep doing.
Yeah.
People get better and then they stop taking their medications. Why? Because they think they're better.
Yeah.
And they feel better and they miss a few days. They still feel okay. Oh shit, I think I'm okay.
Yeah. No, but it's cool. If you think you're a piece of shit, or if you are a piece of shit, just knowing that like, oh, I can like, if I can exercise a little bit of willpower,
Yeah.
and I can like force myself to do the behaviors that aren't what that are what I want to be like, and I do that for a consistent amount of time, I will literally be a better person.
You are.
Yeah.
People people can lose character. You could sell your dignity
Yeah.
for money. But you
Or-
can also earn it back.
Yeah.
The problem is it's very difficult. It's so easy to go down that rabbit hole
Yeah.
of using people, and to get out, we have to face what we've done.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if you could just get yourself to do the behavior, because I've said it a million times, human beings do what the fuck they want or what gets rewarded, and we
Right.
justify it after.
Right. But
And
if
so
you know
can
that,
if you know that, do the damn behavior. If you do behavior that has integrity, guess what? Pretty soon you have it
yeah.
because your brain has to justify it. It's like when couples get together, one of them's using the other one, or there's a good reason they want to be together, and it's like, I miss you. Oh, I miss you too. When can I see you? It's Monday, and they say Friday. You don't miss me, because if you did, that's a very strong feeling of yearning, and people work to get rid of that. And so, but there's probably a good reason why they want to be together. They want to be with that person. Unfortunately, it doesn't cost any energy. We never shut up. And so we have evolved to easily tell people what we want them to believe. The good news is nature put in a check valve. All you have to do is call them on it, because your brain won't let you waste energy chasing something you don't really want, because their resources are too valuable.
Yeah.
And so you'd also do is call them out on it, like, oh, I miss you too. I miss you too. I'm available in a couple of hours. What are you up to? Let's get together. Oh, I can't right now. I'm really busy. Well, doing what? Because if you miss me, obviously this is more important. I'd like to know what that is, so I know what kind of miss it is. Do you miss me like you love me? You miss me like you miss vanilla ice cream? What are we? And that puts them. That lets people protect themselves. Unfortunately, when that happens, the person's doing that because they know the other person likes them a lot and is going to take the fucking excuse
Yeah.
that they give, and you'll always get an excuse. And even when it comes time to meet on that Friday, most of the time
They'll just
be
flake
late.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll just delay. Why? Because they're trying to keep you around, but for some reason, they just don't. There's no chemistry there for them.
Yeah.
And yet there's probably a good reason that they would like to be with them. There's benefits. And so that person's lying to themselves. But if they just could make it about saying what the fuck I say, I do what I say, and they just show up on time to that day, guess what? Their brain has to justify what they did.
Yeah.
And so that person now will be important. And so that's if you have the willpower and you can get yourself to do it, you can make love grow like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, familiarity breeds attraction, but unfortunately, yeah, it's foolproof. When I taught personal growth and development, it's the first thing I tell people. But you don't. It's not like they're doing it to manipulate on purpose, like there's just plan. No, they're also using ego. They're justifying it. They're fooling themselves as well.
Yeah.
They keep telling myself, but for some reason, I want to get together, but let's do it on Wednesday. Why does your brain push it back? Because if you really are attracted and want to be around this person, think about that, dude. If I'm attracted to a chick, I'll go right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally right now.
Exactly.
I'll be there in fucking 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And so if they're trying to tell you, oh, I like you too, care about you, let's get together. I'm really busy right now. Brushing your teeth.
No.
So that's a check, and you can protect yourself. But like even me, there was a girl named Heather. Oh my gosh, she was so hot, but she just would she just always the same thing. And me, I know I'm getting gaslighted, but I didn't.
Right.
She's so hot, I didn't care. Well, I cared, but I thought I might be able to break through. If I can get through, one time to get her to put her fence down or shield down, I don't know. I was just blinded by beauty.
Yeah.
My God, I have pictures of her on my phone still. She's just a 10.
Yeah.
And I'm not a 10, so that's pretty rare.
I don't know if I should say this on stream, but
What?
I did the same exact thing with Charlize. Took me months, but I just kept showing up, trying to get her to hang out with me. Finally, she did. I was like, thank God.
Yeah. It's because if you can get her, you just need them around you for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, because familiarity breeds attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more you're around someone, the hotter they get. Unless they're a real douche, so you turn into hatred.
Yeah.
It goes either way. It goes.
have to be
Doesn't seem to
likable.
stay in the middle
You
much.
still need to be likable.
Yeah, you have to be likable. But yeah, that's and that's why I was try to get her to go somewhere with me because if she'd always be late, she should have less than half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom made her once. My God, she's so pretty. It's disgusting. And a lot of tattoos though, but they're beautiful ones.
Yeah.
Usually that turns me off.
Really?
Yeah. Not anymore. When I was younger, yeah. Like a good friend, Megan, we were in graduate school at Cal State together, and we had a class. I sat right behind her, but never talked to her because she had a big old tramp stamp on her.
Oh, I don't like that, but
And so I just was like, and she was kind of gothy,
Mm.
but really hot.
Funny
She was a
story.
model for Miller too, but I just was prejudiced.
Yeah, me
I
too.
just judged her, prejudged her.
There was
and and the tattoo was a turnoff, so I just didn't even. And then we ended up in an honors class, and we ended up really good friends. Her kid's named Charles. You met her, but you were tiny.
Mm.
She went to Cal State, San Bernardino with me, but she was in. She was going in for school counseling.
Mm.
Super cool chick. Super cool. And broken like a mofo. Well, and she's very open about it, but yeah, she was alcoholic. She had like 3 DUIs.
Damn,
To the point where she would black out and not remember.
that's crazy.
That's scary. But her dad, I think her father suffered with that
Also
too.
said goth girls for life. So that's what the story I was going to tell is in middle school, in 7th grade, there was this goth chick. She had a weird name. I don't know if I should say it. I don't know if Austin will remember, but there was this goth chick that was like in love with me. And I was not into it because she was goth.
Yeah.
But looking back, I'm like, man, the only reason I wasn't into it is because I would have been embarrassed.
Embarrassed
And I
because
was like,
way she
damn, my
dresses
friends are gonna judge me for being with this goth chick.
Oh my gosh.
But
yeah, that would have probably been fun. Well, not in 7th grade.
she
but
was crazy.
She was crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can learn a lot.
it would have been fun though.
Yeah, it would have been. I hate saying it, but I was in middle school. One of the first times I ever had sex was right before high school, and I'd ride my bike over to her house every day when her parents left for work. That was, it was quite an experience. It's so funny, man. I thought I loved her, and then as soon as I got laid, it was just like. But I didn't know. I never had, never been. Dude, when those testosterone kicks in, those hormones kick in, it's powerful feelings. You know, kind of feels it could be love. Fucking, you know, because you're pining for it so bad.
Yeah.
You know, but it wouldn't matter which girl it was. You're gonna want it. I love you. Like literally after you finish, I'm like, I gotta go home.
I got stuff to do.
Got stuff to do. I don't know why my feelings changed. I remember that. My junior year, I stopped having sex because, well, I had with one person because I just hated feeling guilty.
Yeah.
I felt so guilty.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, they call you the next day and you just want to blow them off. And
Yeah.
it's like, dude, if they call, you fucking asshole. Yeah, they're right.
Yeah.
They're not wrong, man. I used you.
Yeah.
And back then, I just mistaked I didn't know what my feelings were.
Right.
You know, you're just driven, dude, we're driven to reproduce.
Yeah.
It's a powerful feeling.
You literally don't know till after.
Until after, yeah.
Yeah.
Women have to be the gate checkers because, unfortunately, they're the ones stuck with labor
Yeah.
and they're the ones stuck with the childbirth.
Yep.
And so they better make sure that man is in love, deeply in love.
Yeah.
Because if they're not, I will show you a single mom.
True.
Because if that dude's not in love with her, dude, they're not sticking around through pregnancy. Holy shit, they're crazy.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, babies are no fun either.
Yeah.
You have to be deeply attached to that person to stick around and raise a kid because it just ruins your life for a while. I hate to say it, but it doesn't ruin it. Yeah, it fucking ruins it. At first, because the babies cry all the time, you got shit everywhere. I couldn't stand it when you guys were babies because I couldn't talk to you. You didn't actually shit. And I always thought you were dying. You know, every time you guys cough, I'm like running in. Don't choke it! It took a while, you know, for me to like it.
Because the baby just looks fragile.
Dude, I thought everything was gonna kill you.
Right.
Well, I just thought everything was gonna. You guys were choking on
Right.
something, you know.
Yeah, to make weird ass sounds.
Yeah.
I've done that before. Babysitting. What is it doing?
What the hell
Why is it
happened?
making that sound?
Yeah.
And then he just throws
It's
up.
like whoopee, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I freaked out the first time Jalen projectile vomited all over me.
That's disgusting.
Dude, it is. I was like, how the much fucking? It's like someone took an air compressor and
Jesus.
Man, yeah, it must have been like bubbling or something,
Yeah.
or her throat it was just get this out right now. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I just think kids should come with a damn playbook or
Oh, yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Damn.
parents do everything wrong. Every
Yeah.
fucking thing. It drives me crazy. And when I sit there and I have to look at them, like they're yelling at their kids.
Mm,
But then when they go play and do something cool, they're watching their show.
right.
And then
Right,
you never give
right.
the kid attention until they act out. I'm sorry, you just reinforced that.
Yeah.
Now you're going to turn them into little brats, and they're going to argue with you nonstop. Why? Because that's how they get your attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, go brush your teeth.
Trying
Oh,
to
damn it. Hey, let's tie my feet together and then tie it to the couch.
You're right.
Yeah, they don't realize you're literally rewarding the behavior.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to say it with Melissa when she knows, because when I first met her, you know, Chastity would argue with her half the time on stuff. And now, every single time. She can't get her to... I was like, Melissa, what do you think happens when you say go brush your teeth? If she goes, she's not with you. But if she argues with you, she gets 7 more minutes of your undivided attention. Why? Because you're also 7 and you argue with her.
Yeah.
And you engage. And I don't understand how after 2 years, you can't help it. She has to grow up first. I was like, a kid can't raise a kid, hon. And you may be an adult intellectually. You know, you can file paperwork and read and understand, but you're not an adult emotionally.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something called IQ. And there's something called EQ.
Yeah.
Your emotional intelligence. And most parents don't tend to that part of their kids. They just tend to the part that lets them read right.
You're right. And
yet they can't control their emotions. You know, they can't have an adult conversation. They start name calling, you know, and they're just impulsive. And we're in deep shit. Because I don't know many parents that raise their kids and also attend to their emotional development.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's hard when parents want to be liked by their kids.
Right.
That fuck, dude, you got a little brat. I'll guarantee
Yeah.
it. you're gonna have a self-entitled little brat.
Yeah. Same thing with a dog, basically.
Yeah, you get what you it's like you get what you reward. Behavior modification is so effective. Like a grad student's got a professor to teach out the corner.
Yeah.
It just shaped his behavior. It's not hard. You know, so every time we move that way, I'll lean in a little bit, and as he moves away from the corner, everyone starts ignoring him a little. Man, dude, it didn't even take that long, and all of a sudden he's doing his lectures from the corner, and he doesn't. He can't help it.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Or like the Stanford prison experiment.
That one's.
They had to shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dissipation of responsibility. You know, we found out, man, if you're in deep shit, you better hope only one person's there, because then otherwise they put it to everybody else. Oh, someone will take care of it. You know.
Yeah.
So a big ass crowd, you're probably gonna die.
Yeah.
Unless you yell fire. But right, people get murdered. Oh, you're dead, dude. No one's coming. Unless there's like one person there, they might come and help.
Yeah.
If they're in visual contact.
Yeah.
Although, you know, like Ryan stared Donnie right in the eye as he's getting almost murdered. And Donnie won't come in and engage and help.
Man.
And Ryan had a couple people on him, like bashing him. And that's hard though, because your instincts kick in and you protect yourself.
Right.
I'm sorry, bro, but my DNA has to keep going.
Yeah.
And it's hard for us. It's hard for most people to override that.
Yeah. It can be.
It can be. We do it easily for our kids
Yeah.
and our loved one, our kid. But it's more difficult for people to do it for non-relatives, non-blood relatives.
Yeah.
And I find that odd. But I'll be honest, I'm less inclined to step in and help a dude, but I immediately will step in and help a
Yeah.
female if they're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
Especially physically, because they're not equipped physically
Yeah.
to handle some things, whether that's another person or an object or something.
I saw the most frustrating video. There was this mom who was walking her kids, right? They get attacked by a pit bull. And I've never seen a more useless fucking human. Couldn't do a damn thing to help her kids. Because they're getting mangled.
She didn't do anything?
She kept falling out like a useless human. Didn't fight barely. She like kind of pulled on the kid a little bit. And then I'm pretty sure she lets go. Yeah, it was like, I was like horrified watching this fucking video. I'll have to show it to you.
Dude, that dog will be dead.
Yeah, I'm like, how are you not like you could tell
I would turn into an animal. I'd be biting its ear off.
Zero aggression in her. Like, I would be ripping that dog's jaws apart.
Yeah. Dude, I would be trying to tear his throat out, tear his balls off. I'd be going for every small, soft organ.
And this lady is just like standing there.
Dude, I would turn it into just a raw animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would kill it.
Yeah.
I'd probably kill it because I'd be trying to get my hands to rip it apart.
Yeah.
Tear any piece of soft tissue, any piece you get, rip that motherfucker. Yeah, I guarantee that thing will let go.
Yeah.
Well, most people freak out or try to get I'd be trying to get leverage its mouth so it can't bite more. But on my other hand, dude, I'm gonna be going for every little tender spot that thing has, especially at its neck, because it's gonna try to protect its neck.
I saw a video of a dude choke one out. It's biting someone. He comes up behind it.
It just chokes
his
it.
rear neck and chokes it out.
Yep.
He just put his hand over the top of the mouth, keep
yeah.
it down so it didn't bite him,
Yeah.
and just choked it out. I was like,
yeah.
damn, that worked really well.
Yeah. Especially because if it's biting someone, it's going to be over it, and so
Right,
it'll be
yeah.
not that hard. And when it can't breathe, it's not biting anymore.
Yeah.
But man, they're pretty powerful too.
Oh.
You better hope
yeah.
you got a good rear naked because you want them to pass out pretty fast.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize how much power.
Yeah, it'll fucking just stand up with you on its back, probably.
Yeah, and the way it'll start just violently. You've seen how they shake their head.
Yeah.
So you better.
Damn.
Like on the movie, what was it? I Me with whatever Will Smith when he had to kill the dog when it went.
Oh, I Am Legend.
Yeah, he choked it.
Yeah.
And he choked it out.
That was a good movie.
That was a damn good movie. Yeah, dude, I can't. Number one, usually you know if a dog, but your mom kept that damn Daisy around and it was risky.
Bit a couple people, yeah.
Yeah, and I would if it was up to me, that dog would have been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. First time it snapped at someone, really, F you, buddy, you're gone.
Yeah.
And you can see it in her eyes. The dog was half crazy.
Yeah.
So a little weird, just something off, and she would snap sometimes.
Yeah.
And for me, I'll be, dude, you're gone.
Yeah.
That is not, to me, it's just not a risk we're taking ever. You know, but like Bailey and stuff, she never
No.
fucking jump on her and crap.
No, yeah, she was a good dog.
Yeah, she just patient. When she got sick of it, she'd leave.
Yeah.
But she wasn't, aggressive. And if she, even if she was trying to correct the other dogs, it's just very gentle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad Devin's not aggressive.
Yeah, he's a lover.
Because he didn't get trained at all. If he was an aggressive dog and he didn't get trained, we would have been screwed.
Yeah.
But he's
a lover, not a fighter.
He does not have a fucking mean
bone in his body. No, he's just happy as hell, dude.
Yeah.
He's pretty too.
Yeah.
He's a very good looking dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has. Jalen did not do any obedience training with him. He sits and shit and rolls.
So the one trainer they did bring up was one of those purely positive trainers that does not issue negative reinforcement at all.
That's them caving to peer pressure. That's stupid. That's not how dogs operate.
Yeah.
How a dog can't give a lecture to its fucking pup.
So what she was doing was Devin kept jumping on the couch, and we didn't want him jumping on the couch. So she'd jump on the couch, and she'd be like, when he jumps on the couch, give him a treat.
You just reinforce that behavior.
Yes. She's like, just get the treat and stand away from the couch, and he'll jump off the couch, and then reward him. And they're like, okay, we'll try it. So they start doing it, and the entire time, I'm like, we're reinforcing negative behavior.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And I told this to Mom and Jalen when she left. I was like, I don't think this is going to work at all.
This thing won't work.
We did it for weeks. She did not charge small amounts, by the way. It was fucking expensive. And zero difference.
She's rewarding the
Zero
behavior.
fucking difference.
If he jumps on the couch and you pull a fucking treat out, you literally just reinforce that behavior.
And so they stopped, obviously, because it wasn't working. And I was like, let's get a different trainer. I will vet the trainer.
Yeah.
That's some horse shit.
That's so stupid. That's not how dogs operate.
No.
Why do people think they can push their own agenda on an animal?
It was purely political.
Political.
What did she say? She was like, yeah, the alpha theory or whatever has been completely disproven. The one who wrote the theory even said it was false. And I was like, well, I'm going to look that up. I look it up.
No, that's horseshit. People, I can't. They make claims because they hear it from somebody else.
Yeah. What he did do was he changed like how he was categorizing some of the terms. He changed some of the definitions of the words in the original paper.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, see, he's even saying that it's not true. It's like, that's not what it says.
That's not what it says.
It's not what it says, yeah.
People take that so much. I can't stand it. And as far as the media, like, people always misuse the second law of thermodynamics. And they don't even really get it right.
Yeah.
Heather tried to insult me once, and she butchered it. I didn't realize what she was trying to do. And I'm like, she was like, every reaction has an action. And she just butchered it. But I'm like, number one, you don't understand the second law of thermodynamics. And the dude who came up with the second law literally said it only applies to objects in motion, not to people. Like, and then you just try to extrapolate it on people. How smart is that, hon?
No.
It's like, but it's scary because they think they have like this real knowledge.
Yeah.
And they know.
They know like
everybody knows only the Earth has gravity.
Yeah, their information is like distilled into like just catchy bullet points that they can say.
Dude, that gets so old. Oh my god, they're just talking heads.
Yeah.
And if the funny thing is, you'll catch them if you have a follow-up question because they don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
They just heard somebody say it.
Yeah, that debate that we were watching with the pro-Israel and the whatever.
Oh yeah.
His opening statement. This side wants peace and the other side wants war or whatever.
Yeah,
one side wants the other side dead and the other one just wants peace. It's like, I don't know if that's entirely accurate.
That is not how reality operates.
But yeah, during the debate, I kept watching. He basically runs out of shit and he starts insulting the other guy on the other side.
So he starts doing ad hominem attacks.
And he's like, there's this one weird point where he's like, you just libeled me. And he's like, I just libeled you. It's like, but we're having a debate. It was fucking weird.
Weird.
It was super entertaining though, I'll say that.
I mean, ad hominem attacks are like king our level, but they're effective. Why? because people get insulted, and so it works.
Yeah.
And so they get off topic.
And then it just delves into
And then
who
it just
can
it
insult
devolves
who
into
better.
you don't even remember the hell what the argument was about, or the debate started about.
Yeah.
You know, those things. But they do that because they can't defend the actual topic.
Yeah.
And so they start name calling.
Right.
I remember with Heather, I'd literally say, "Here comes the name calling because I just trapped you. I just asked a couple questions and now you have to change your story, hon. As soon as you change your story, that means both can't be true."
Yeah.
It's like, she never had kids. I'm like, my God, it's like you go from stupid, a lie that seems silly. I don't know why you would lie about it. But then when I call you out, you literally turn into a kid
Start name calling.
and start name calling, and then you change reality.
Yeah.
Well, when I say now, it could be an hour. Because like you literally said, I just got there, but you had been there. You're lying to me. You've been there. She goes, she got caught in something like, she finally says, when I say now it can mean all day. I said, hon, you just pull the word out of context. Unfortunately, there's something called grammar and syntax, and if you look at the words that came before you said now, it specifically made it very clear that you meant just right now.
Yeah.
Right now, it has a very specific meaning, but I realized I'm never gonna win.
No.
She's never ever once she never once apologized for anything, standing me up, lying to me, and then she turned it around on me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm so sick again. I sent her the definition of gaslighting.
That's fucking
I
funny.
sent it to her. I'm like,
That's hilarious.
when words don't match our behavior, it's called manipulation.
Yeah.
When we won't even when we don't take responsibility for those behaviors, and we put it on someone else, that's called gaslighting, and that's abuse.
Yeah.
And it's, you don't even know the definition of this. You're a moron, motherfucker. I'll send my people up there to take care of you. Oh my god. And I'm like, you can come up and take care of me. Man. But yeah, those things don't, work. If people have good critical thinking skills, there would be no planes going into buildings for 100 fucking virgins in the afterlife.
Yeah.
And who wants a virgin anyway? They suck.
I don't even know if those guys believed in that shit. Because they weren't even from, they were foreign exchange students from, Pakistan and shit. One of them was from, Egypt.
But don't they, I think they isolate these young guys that don't, and they just bring them in and brainwash them and give them a purpose. And so they're vulnerable. I did watch a couple ones that, they were just, they didn't fit in and they weren't getting much help. And so these people gave him an outlet,
Yeah.
and an excuse for why he's where he's
Well,
at.
no, but anyone who's going to, do literal acts of terrorism is probably going to be
Pretty
fucking
effed up.
lonely and fucked up and
They
mentally
have
ill
problems already.
in the first place. But
It's
that
funny,
makes sense. But yeah.
And they blame all these guns for mass shootings and stuff, or they, but the people never talk about, they never talk about the fact that most of these kids that go to schools and shoot them up are on fucking psychotropic
Dude, they
drugs.
fucking are.
And that's never discussed.
Yeah.
Why? Probably because the pharmaceutical companies don't want that shit.
No, that's probably accurate. I think that's fairly accurate. I saw a video of a kid, so he fucking goes into a public library, shoots the place up. It's on high quality video. I think he killed one or two people he missed. He was a fucking little kid, basically. Yeah. Then he puts the gun down and he walks out and they arrest him out there. And then he goes, there's video of him in the interrogation room. And he's talking like he's going to go home and like nothing weird happened. And he's like, I'm like, this kid is mentally.
He's got schizophrenia or something.
Something.
Yeah.
He is
a psychotic
not
break.
okay.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. But it bugs me. Like my mom. Oh, it started happening when moms went to work.
You can't.
There's too many different factors.
There's too many variables.
Yeah, there's just too much. There's too many variables. I think a lot of it is putting kids on medication.
Yeah.
And instead of going out and fucking exercising.
Yeah. And kids don't
and
exercise anymore.
And the internet, the anonymity that comes. It's so much easier to call people names and be an asshole.
Yeah.
When the text disappears after a while,
right.
Or you're on whatever some of those are. There's no way to even know who they are really.
Right.
I met a chick on one of those. It wasn't even a chick.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
I finally went. She asked to see a screen, some things to try to help me, with some computer stuff. I was like, FaceTime. Yeah. Could you send me? Yeah, let's FaceTime right now because you're telling me you're from basically back east, but that text sounded very Asian to me. Like, because they use terms differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, and of course, could I get any kind of live thing? I was like, if you want to meet someday, I need to see you, and that was a weird thing. It's not really appropriate to ask to see people's personal stuff like that. I've never met you.
Yeah.
I don't know you, and I hate to like they make you have feelings. They like try to act like, oh, I really like you, and I'm like, I have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
You're just I don't need a pen pal, but guess what? I will never ever trust you.
Yeah.
Unless we FaceTime and I meet you. I need to observe your behaviors and how you treat other people.
Yeah.
Before I can ever say I have feelings for you.
Right.
That's so weird to me. And they're like, I love you. I had a chick tell me she loved me. Never met me.
Yeah, that's weird.
Weird. But hot as hell too. And that wasn't real. I finally tried to get her to like, okay, this is stupid. We've talked enough. I want to meet. Well, I'm just really uncomfortable, in public and stuff like that. Well, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't need a pen pal.
Yeah.
I like touching people.
Yeah.
Face-to-face contact, because I'm pretty sure you're probably a dude.
Probably.
And the presumably he's talking to AI, though. People program an AI to go on there and fish for scamming people.
That's fucking crazy.
Especially like that on TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, because Tim knows a lot of shit about that. For like escorts and stuff, they'll have you pay like a deposit, but it's like a scam. And so they just say,
I think that's going to be a big scam with AI.
Yeah, because AI will do it for you.
AI video generation, AI image generation. They're starting to get like, you can generate multiple images of like the same non-existent person and like make them look similar. So you'll be able to like make legit social media profiles that look real.
They look real.
They're like realistic
photos
and videos.
Dude, you could set it up.
And there's really good AI text to speech now that sounds human.
Yeah, it sounds human. Yeah. You can have those things they'll be mining all the time and collecting $20 here, $20 there.
Yeah.
It is nuts. But that's the only part I don't like. There's too much fraud. But people just should be aware.
Yeah.
You have to protect yourself. Because I got scammed. I didn't have any fucking money, but I sent her a couple $100 because she needed dental, but it wasn't. That was all bullshit.
Yeah.
After that, because I couldn't ever send. I was like, okay, I paid you this live chat, and you live down there. I want to meet now, and one excuse after another. And I was like, send me a fucking another picture. Send me a picture, and I want to see the date. And just one excuse after another. And I was like, you motherfucker! Congratulations, you got a couple $100 from me. That'll never happen again. I will say, dude, that it is hopeless. I think, like, I gave up on like trying to meet anyone through the internet.
Yeah.
I guess I'm probably on the wrong site though too.
Probably. Yeah. I've never done it. I won't know.
I'd rather meet someone at the grocery store, or when I'm eating at Chili's or something, meet someone, or at the gym.
Yeah.
Or hopefully at damn it, I want to play I think they have an indoor court for that, not tennis, but pickleball. Man, that's fun.
It is fun.
It's real fun. Dude, if you get like a team, like a 2-player, then you don't even have to run that much. It's pretty damn fun.
Right.
I will say Amanda's pretty legit too. She's pretty good. I give her a head start, but she's beat me legit a couple times when I try to fight back, and she gets lucky. She's funny, man. She's like competitive like a dude, but she's very athletic. So yeah. But it's funny. I like beating her and everything, and then I let her win every once in a while. in ping pong, but she knows, or I'll just like try to slam it too much.
Yeah.
Overhit, hit it out, and then bet or something. I bet you some dirty sex. I can make a comeback against $50. And then go tell your boyfriend. That shit. I couldn't take that anymore.
That's awful.
You know, I don't, you know. I'm not, women, it's weird to me because like, I don't really care what they do. I don't own them. You know, they're allowed to be a human being. But there comes a point where it's, dude, this is just silly. Like, you keep, Amanda shows up every 2 months when her and Sean get in a fight. And then she comes here and she just complains about it the whole time. It's over. I'm so sick of him. Treats me like crap, you know. And then, you know, I make her happy for a little while. And then she gets over it. And then she goes back. And I'm like, dude, after the 7th fucking time, I'm like, dude, I can't do this merry-go-round anymore. And I say that, and then I let it happen again and again.
She's
I will say last time, I was like, what you gave me the other night, I was like, get your shit out. You know, you have a boyfriend. Unless you're going to pay me storage, you need to get your his clothes and all your stuff out of my room. It looks like I have a fucking girlfriend, and I don't. Like if some chick came over, and where's your girlfriend? I don't have one. Liar. I wouldn't believe him. Everyone's there, half closet full of, looks like someone lives there.
Yeah. She's probably listening right now.
Good. That would say good. You know, that was rude. And I told her that. I was like, Sean was with me. I didn't want to come by. And I was like, why not? He could have helped you. He could have helped you grab your stuff. What do I care?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he's a secret.
Yeah.
If I want you guys to play ping pong. And I was like, I'll crush him. But I was like, I don't want to meet your dumbass boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, I think he's a little older than me. And he's a rapper. And I don't know if he's white. I think he's white. And but dude, you're 50 and you haven't made it yet, you're not going to. You're just, what was plan B? And just the way they talk, they're still in awe. That's one of the things where you can see groups of people that just, wow, they left high school and just never grew.
Yeah.
I mean, she's talking about their friends who sleep. I was like, dude, I'm not in high school. I don't do gossip.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know any of these people, and I just don't. And I don't want to.
It's so uninteresting to me.
It is, and she makes me sit there and listen for her. We got a couple arguments because I got sick of listening to him. Well, he is not. I was like, I don't understand. If he doesn't make you happy, that should be it. If you're not happy and he doesn't make you feel special, I don't understand. That should be enough to leave. And yet she's always, I have to catch him. You know, they're making me feel crazy. You're letting them gaslight the hell out of you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I knew immediately like that one time when the guy showed up with your girl. The girl was there randomly. You don't show up randomly in Palm Springs, the same hotel,
Yeah.
and act like it was a coincidence. I was like, but apparently since you can't walk in on them, I said, even if you walked in on them having sex, they would just tell you you're crazy. And then, you know, or it's just something weird, or, you know, and after 3 weeks, you'd probably go for it.
Yeah.
And that's sad. Very sad. Because I was like, dude, she's hot. And I was like, how could you look like that and have no confidence?
Yeah.
Staying with someone that puts you down over and over and over and over. He abandons her, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to go rescue her once she was on mushrooms.
That's
he
crazy.
Would go get to me. He's like, dude, that guy doesn't give a crap about you then. If you're crying and you're scared, dude, I barely knew her then.
Yeah.
But I just immediately got in the car and went and tracked her down.
Yeah.
And she's really pretty too, so that's, well, you met her.
Oh.
She's funny on the damn head when she was
On
playing the VR.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. Actually, my sister too, April, when she plays tennis.
Yeah. I know. What the hell?
I'm like, oh my god. It was funny. I went to put the mask on in the sweat. I was like, oh, where's the rubber thing?
That's gross.
Yeah, I told her, you keep the rubber thing on there, man. It gets wet, it's gonna stink.
Oh god. Ugh.
You're doing these tournaments now, hold on. Sweating it out. It's probably never been in better shape though.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, I noticed a difference when I started playing ping pong all the time on
Yeah.
there. And I do the lightsaber, and they actually have fitness stuff for it.
Yeah.
I haven't done any of that, but
Yeah. I used to do the boxing one. That one was fun.
that's fun. Jeremy and I boxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. But it took 3 days for me to get his helmet so he could meet in a room, to walk him through how to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to learn too. He's all, fucking, I'm done. Just let me know if you figure it out later. I'm losing my cool. I'm all, dude, people do it, so there's a way.
Yeah.
We just
Right.
have to figure it out. And I figured it out, but people quit too soon.
Really soon. Like
My
at the,
mom was like that too. I'm like, it drove me nuts. She'd always ask me to do it, and it drove me nuts. I was like, you have to do it. You have to. What happens if I die? You have to figure it out. Damn, you don't try. You don't get to try twice and just move on to someone. Hey, can you do this for me?
Yeah.
You're never gonna learn.
Yeah.
And most things are difficult at first.
Yeah.
There's a learning curve.
You'll probably beat Dark Souls then. 'Cause that's all it takes to beat Dark Souls.
Yeah,
It's really like there's rules, and I gotta learn the rules and how to
as
play.
I learn the rules, I'll start making connections,
Yeah.
and then it'll just get easier, and I'll be
Yeah.
able to navigate it better. And that's fun to me though.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
love complex systems that are difficult to learn.
Yeah,
It's like the most
it's fun.
gratifying thing.
It's figuring it out.
Yeah, just figuring it out.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it was funny, Tim and I. So those basically I was like done with her because I just was like tired of being fucking gaslighted. So she's supposed to come over to it. I'm like, I don't really feel like seeing her. Let me send her $100 to her to pick something up. And so I was like, now she won't come because she was gonna come over here, hang out with me, and probably ask for some money. and I literally texted. I said, here's what I'm gonna have. I'm gonna send her the money, and here's what I'm gonna get. I'll have to text her because she won't be here. And then I'll get an excuse that, she's last minute thing she has to get done. And then I'm going to hear that, her father needed help. Dude, I actually predicted. And so when she did it, I sent it to her. She goes, you're a fucking evil psychic or something like that. And I'm like, no, when I know
just
what's driving your
obvious.
behavior, it's
Yeah.
pretty easy to predict.
Yeah.
You're not coming here for me. It's pretty obvious that you're coming here basically now just to use me a little bit. And and sometimes I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be like subterfuge, and just manipulation,
Yeah.
Because I kept telling her, it's obvious you want to be with me because you see benefit, but you clearly aren't that. You'd rather be doing something else, man.
Yeah.
And you can't help but show me.
Yeah.
Your mouth keeps telling me one thing, but you've never shown up on time, not once.
Yeah.
Not once. It never even been within an hour, except for one time. You were in Palm Springs, you had to go to a Super Bowl party, you had to come stop to get ready in my bathroom. Then you came on time.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, that's it. I'm done. I don't want to end up hating you. If I keep letting myself be treated like this, I'm
Right.
going to end up hating you.
Yeah.
So I got to cut it, because you can't, you're never going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Average view duration is 15 minutes.
Not bad.
That's not bad. Goth girls for life. You know what's weird? I have to admit, what I'm attracted to has changed a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. I have always been attracted to, like, classy. A little bit older, but business kind of classy, but form-fitting. And I've always been attracted to that. Now, dude, I'm attracted to some goth chicks.
Yeah.
And some of those tattooed girls are like, God, dang, yeah.
Yeah. The
it's
right
just
tattoos
weird,
and like
yeah.
the right skin
The right
complexion,
tattoo and the
it's,
right,
like,
yeah.
not bad.
Usually I'm like, I was always more attracted to more dignified, I guess.
Yeah.
A little more conservative. And I'm not so much more attracted to that anymore. I'm kind of like a little crazy. Or a little quirky, or just a little more personality, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I've relaxed my views on what's now appropriate. What would be considered civilized
Right.
changes over time.
Yeah.
Relationships, roles, gender roles change. Actually, gender roles change a lot. In the 1600s, men wore makeup and cried and fainted and boo-hooed like women, and it was masculine, and they wore a shit ton of makeup. It's so weird. And now it's completely feminine. But that was considered masculine back then.
Really?
Yeah, 1600s. I think it was literally during the beginning of the Renaissance. You'll see men fainting and just drama, and they're in dresses, and they have wigs, and they have a shit ton of makeup on, and they act exactly like dramatic menopaused women. And that was considered masculine, and it lasted for a little while.
I don't know that.
Yeah, and some cultures, they don't really have gender roles. There isn't much. It's kind of neutral, or they have like 3. Indians have like masculine male roles and feminine, and they have like neutered. People that just are asexual, and I don't remember what they call them, but they have a name for it. Indians do, and they accept it. Then they hear these people that don't believe that. They're like, "There's only a man. It's only a man and a woman. You're either born a man or you're born a woman." Really? Well, that's weird. How do you define what is a man then? How do you define a man? Most people, he said basically an X. If you've got an XY chromosome, you're a man. Really? What about people with Myers syndrome or whatever it's called? They have an XY syndrome, but guess what? They have boobs, a vagina, and they have a uterus, and they can have kids.
No.
So is that a man or is that a woman?
A little bit of both, I guess.
Yeah, and it's like, what do you do with that?
Yeah.
It's like, well, they're just outliers, and they're freaks or whatever. Yeah, they are outliers, but guess what? There's hundreds of millions of them because we have so much population. Even though it's very rare, there's 300 million transgender people. How many people is the size of Russia?
Like biologically?
People that identify as being in the wrong gender, like transgender, they don't fit. But no, those genetic defects or genetic abnormalities or mutations are very rare. Like 1 in 8,000 or some shit. But yeah, there's people with XX and they have a dick and sperm. Or some people have their testes are made out of testicular and the other half's fucking ovarian tissue. It's such a complex biological process. And everything has to go right for it. And most of the time works perfectly. Most people born with a dick think they're a dude.
Right.
But sometimes it's not a dichotomy, it's a spectrum. And I think that's where people get trapped into this dogmatic thinking because they don't want to take the time to understand nuance. And most things in reality are very nuanced. People can be just, well, look at all the weird shit that you can see on film now. People with 2 heads.
Right.
Fucking.
What do you mean by spectrum though?
It's a continuum, I think. I think gender and even sex is not a dichotomy. It's not like a fluid, but there is a continuum from how masculine and how feminine you are, or even the biology of it. Because we have people that you look inside and what the F? This dude's got a dick and a uterus.
Right.
And those things happen sometimes. And some people don't have any sexual drive. They're non-binary or whatever that's called. If you're asexual.
Yeah, that's not, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's some people that are just attracted to high intelligence, people that sound smart. And so I think for the most part though, biology has set us up to be pretty consistent to reproduce, and otherwise our species goes extinct.
Isn't that just subjective preferences?
Yeah, but they're real.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know if they're subjective. I think a person that has a penis but it feels like a woman inside. I think that's biology. I think that's hormonal.
Sure. You don't think someone can convince themselves that they're
in the wrong body?
Yeah.
In the right environment, absolutely. If the parents are into that shit,
right,
and they're exposed to a lot of that crap, I think absolutely they can convince themselves because
right,
kids will do almost anything to make their parents happy. And
right,
if they're into that stuff, you never know what the kid's imagination people can convince themselves of all kinds of crazy crap.
Right.
And I was sitting there listening to a lady saying she's making reality happen right there on the spot.
Right.
You know, we all do, you know, and it's like, what the F?
Yeah.
You know, so truth, you know, if you hear people, truth is relative. Time may be, but reality is not. It is in a way, but there is an actual objective. Most things have an actual correct answer. And so I can't stand it when people have their own truth. You know, I can't say, you know, this is my truth.
Right.
I get you have a perspective, but your perspective doesn't necessarily mean it's comporting with reality. Our brains are too fucked up. They're just wired to appease or make ourselves happy.
Right.
To give ourselves confidence that we are correct on the way we think the world works. You know, otherwise, we get fear, we stagnate, and we don't eat, and we die.
Right.
And scared men never get laid.
Yeah.
And so, I think the sooner people realize that, and the sooner people, I think the sooner people accept the fact that we're human beings. We are going to do, our brains are set up in a way to protect ourselves. And so the first thing I think people should do is let's be aware of that, I think. Be aware that we don't have access to reality. So we'll never really understand it completely because we can't ever touch it. We're always a little behind. And the fact that your brain is always trying to show you the future should let you understand that it has to build that model based on your own beliefs. And so be careful what those beliefs are. Because if you have a lot of false beliefs, your brain's model of reality does not map on well. And so your decisions don't have much utility. They fall off the rails of reality sooner. And in extreme, it's very obvious in extreme cases when a schizophrenic thinks they can fly. You know, I remember I was younger because I used to think a little bit that people kind of create their own reality as they go. Because I'd be listening to people tell me a story that we both experienced, like, dude, we just lived in different worlds because I was there and I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But then every time something happened where it was either their reality, their version of reality wins every time. You know. And so I think if you care about understanding and if you care if your beliefs are true, then you have to adopt a different philosophy. You have to be very comfortable with being wrong because we're just always wrong.
Yeah.
If you have an original ideal, I would always bet against the person. It doesn't matter who it is. We build off the backs of other people, and only very few people actually have big, new areas of knowledge that they unlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It is not easy. You have the connections you have to see. Because it is, I will say, it's very cool as I've learned more about fundamental laws of physics and started to understand it more. It's easier for me to take in new information because it fits if it's accurate, it just seems to fit into my model and it makes sense. And when people say stuff that is horseshit, it immediately, it's like my brain can't fit it in.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit in my model. So I'm like, dude, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah.
But when someone says something that's actually factually true, it usually just slides right in.
That's why somebody who believes in ghosts is prone to believe in every other supernatural thing that exists too. It's like, oh, it's not like, oh, I believe in astrology, but other than that, I'm like this super scientific person. It's always, I believe in astrology and karma and crystals and God
reincarnation.
And everything. Yeah.
And that is sad because.
But it's just a broken foundation.
It's a broken foundation.
So
they don't have an epistemology.
They have no way of like parsing what is good information and what is bad.
And how is that possible in America? How can you go to school and not be able? We live in the age of information.
And we're back to that again. But it's absurd. It really is.
We live, and people can't. They don't know how to navigate it. They don't know what's reliable. They don't know what counts as evidence. And I'm sorry, your personal experience is an anecdote And a million stories is not data. It's not evidence. It's your personal experience. And I believe you had an experience. But unfortunately, there's
I don't
something called the
believe it's-
fundamental attribution error. And so what you attribute it to is going to conform with your brain's model of reality. And so if you believe in ghosts, guess what?
You see ghosts.
You'll see ghosts. It's your brain's a very happy participant in whatever game you would like to play with reality.
Even if you're just a little bit, like if you watch a horror movie and you're a little bit creeped out, even
Yeah.
when you turn it off, even then you're more likely to, what the fuck was
Dude,
that?
you'll see stuff.
You start seeing shit.
Little
And then you're
shadow
like,
all of a sudden.
oh, I just watched a horror movie.
It's called priming.
Yeah.
You can play static, and then I can prime your brain to hear the words, and all of a sudden you hear the words. Play the music backwards, and it's the devil.
Yeah.
But
It's really, there's some really cool videos to show how that works. They'll like play a sound and they put the text on the screen. And so you can see the text and then you can hear the sound. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, they're saying da 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 da. And then they change the text and the sound changes with the text too, but not really. It just
Yeah,
seems
seems
like
like it.
Yeah.
dude, yeah, our
Shit's
brains are
fucking
so
cool.
weird, and they're easy to fool.
Yeah. Super easy.
Super easy to trick, and we have to be aware of that. You know,
Yeah.
people. The sooner people realize your brain is a simulation machine. It's trying to show you what reality is as best as possible. People don't realize it. Get really drunk. If you fuck with the camera, the film gets messed up and you don't see as well. You blurry see two things. You know why? Because you have broken your little perceptual making machine.
Right.
It's misfiring.
Right.
And so, if that doesn't let you know that, yeah, your brain is always showing you an illusion.
Yeah.
And there's a cool thing on YouTube. There's a dot, and there's one, and it goes like this, and it always beeps right on top. But as soon as the perceived motion is faster than we can process it, your brain will always show you in front. But it's literally on top, but you'll never see it there. Your brain will always force you to see it in front. Why? Because that's where it thinks it's going to be. And that's how we can hit a fastball.
Right. You're
That
just filling in
90
the
feet,
blanks. Yeah.
your brain picks up the intended motion, the physics of it, and understands. And so by the time you actually process, that ball is over the plate, and yet we can hit it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that a fly that flies 2 miles per hour, his behavior's unpredictable. Try to catch that motherfucker. Your brain will show you the fly where it's not at and will never be, because it could have turned. Its flight is not predictable, so it's very hard to catch, even though it's going really slow.
Yeah.
People don't realize it's going like it only fly like 2 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And sometimes you ever try to catch one and you hit it over there and you're like, it's fucking weird. I thought it was over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it was flying that direction, so your brain thought it would be there,
Yeah.
and it just changes. And people don't like that. Drove people crazy. That she's all, if my eyes follow, that's where it's following. I was like, I couldn't find the YouTube video because I couldn't talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
There's no use to just look at here. I can demonstrate it for you. There's easy ways. There's 100 things on YouTube about fooling your brain with illusions.
Yeah.
And that's like the time gap illusion or something. But the important thing to take from that is be careful the model that you're building.
Right.
And if you want to build a very good model of reality, that means you should care whether your beliefs are true or not.
Yeah.
And I want to have as many rationally justified true beliefs as possible, and I want to have as few false beliefs as possible. And I think if people adopt that philosophy more, when someone corrects my false belief, dude, thank you. That's a good thing to get rid of a false belief. So if someone thinks I'm wrong about something, I want to know the truth, and I will take an uncomfortable truth over a comfortable lie every single time. Why? Because I want my brain's model of reality to comport with it as best as possible.
Yeah.
As best as possible. Because I have to live in reality. I can't stand when people make excuses for crap. You know, it's like, dude, that's an excuse. I'd rather just deal with reality.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, this is why you really did it. You know, quit saying this, or, you know, thinking you're justified because they did something in the past.
Right.
I'm sorry, that doesn't make a wrong behavior right. It's
Yeah.
still wrong. You know, and I don't know. I don't know if it's the internet, but people seem to be, there's less empathy.
There is. Well, there is on the internet.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of stuff you want, or people using just fucking stupid terms to make something that's pretty bad sound better. Like, one of my friends that has a kid, go, man, with a flash on her or whatever like that. What the hell's a flash on her? Smack her? Oh, hell no. You will say what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Why won't? Yeah. So you're going to.
There's a
you're
reason
going to
you're not
strike your
saying
kid, huh? Well, that's very much. It's way more difficult to say.
Yeah,
than I'm about to
there's
flash.
a reason you're not saying it.
Yes, because it's wrong. It's abusive. And
Sounds
so you change the word to like make yourself not have the impact because, yeah, I'm sorry, hon, that's abuse. And there's better ways to do. There's so much better ways
yeah.
to do it, and it never works anyway. But when you're a child yourself, I'll just start busting laughing, man. It's like I cannot believe how does a 7-year-old one up you? Like, how does a 7-year-old suck you in to a debate? I was like, I'm sorry, but dude, it was a dictatorship at my house. It's you know, I'm sure willing to listen, but if you got to do something, just go do it, you know, or not sit there and then she would just give in. That's the worst thing you do. I was like, your problem is, hon, you give in. She got me complaining, man, she's stealing all the time now. I was like, how the hell did that happen? I said, what happened when the first time she stole? Well, we were at the store and she stole like a little purse or something like that. And so when they got out, she caught her. I said, oh, well, did you make her go give it back? I was embarrassed. Yeah, well, guess what?
Oh my
you
God.
turned her into a thief because you didn't correct the behavior. If you would have made her return it and own it, guess what? She never would have done it again. Or she wouldn't be turning like little hot hands, little sticky fingers.
She'd know there's consequences.
Yeah, dude, I was so young, and I stole zippers because they were all pretty and colorful, and we didn't have any money. I know my mom was going to buy zippers for me, but I went on a bed, and I got caught, and my mom drove me back, and I had to turn back in, and wow, brutal. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. Starting to call the cops. I mean, I thought I was going to jail. I'm like, 4. Boy, dude, she did. My mom said that was. I remember my mom saying something like, "That's enough." You know, goddamn, he's just a 5-year-old. I'm going to jail wherever. Better get rid of me, mom. But that stuck. But that's because that was awful.
Yeah.
That's punishment. I still had him in my handing him back. I'm still got the behavior. I'm stole the motherfucker in my hands though. Oops. Yeah. I did steal after that a couple times though. Rob and I stole. I won't say his last name. First that B. Remember Fast Food?
The
store at the corner at the bottom of Caroline Road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rob and I took. Oh my God, they left the back door open to the fridge, dude. We must have I had cases of beer stacked up in my closet.
Jesus Christ.
We must have had 1,000.
What's the statute of limitations on that?
I don't know, but I felt so bad later because it had to be like fucking $1,000 worth of beer. And my stepmother found it. What the hell? Where did all this beer come? Well, I'm just holding it for a friend. They're having a big party on the weekend. Dude, I think we had like 15 cases. We were just carrying them out from the back of a store. Run back in, grab the door, man.
Oh my God.
Dude, me and Rob we probably did 4 back and forth. Anyway, dude, we had beer for fucking half a year. But, my father, I had to keep them in the closet. I couldn't stick them in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to wait till the weekend and put them in ice or whatever. But, man, I feel bad, because that had to hurt them. That was a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
A lot of alcohol. There was a lot of Keystone Light. Keystone Light, Coors Light, and I think that's all we grabbed. The front ones. And Keystone's cheap-ass beer. That's all we could afford. We had no money anyway, that's why we stole it. That sucks. They did some other horrible shit, but that were on film, so I don't know.
Yeah, don't say that.
Yeah, it's awful. Actually, a couple of them I made amends, so. And most of them I was more a witness and didn't stop it. Yeah. So that was, yeah. But now I'm trying to think of if I had one I could actually tell that wouldn't be in trouble.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Can't edit this.
That is live stream law.
Yeah.
Yeah. People faster coming up. You owe me money. I can't. I was 16, man. And I knew better, but beer was just a huge reward. You can't. It was like, boy, that's a big cookie jar lid you left open.
Yeah.
Because I remember thinking, he went in, so we were talking about it on the whole way, because I didn't want to get caught, because I'll be killed probably.
Yeah.
I might get beat, like, I'm not going to fight back, so it's just going to be bad. So, but he pulled it back, he goes, look, the fucking door's still open. Pick up trucks back right up by the door, in the bed, so it was just too good of an opportunity to pass up. Man, we were running in and out too, man. I had carried like 3 cases of stuff. We hauled ass out of there. And I lived literally 2 stone throws away.
Wow.
Right on Canyon Road, up below the freeway.
Yeah.
I used to live down there. They had Noggles was badass. And then turned into Del Taco. I think there's still 1 Noggles left.
Really?
Uh-huh. I think it's in Arizona, someone said, or New Mexico. I think Baker's is the best.
Baker's is pretty good.
Man, they've been around forever, too.
Yeah.
They say they're the first dual kitchen, Mexican and American. And I met the regional manager once. It was very young.
Really?
Yeah, the car was bullcrapping with him because he came in and inspected it. He was like, dude, he's like, everything we make is fresh, and I'm just making sure they're following everything here because we care about quality. And I was pretty fucking impressed, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. Well, damn, Baker's doesn't fuck around.
They're fucking good.
They're really good,
They're
dude.
good.
They're beef burrito. I always get the
Even
beef burrito with no red sauce, but even their burgers
Yeah. Even their bean and cheese burritos are good.
are really good. Yeah, yeah. And because he said we don't add the lard to this, and I was like, I don't know why I needed to know it all, but that's cool. I'll be honest, I was a fan of Baker's after that.
Yeah.
He got me hooked.
Yeah.
That's a good sales call or sales. That is good sales.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess like the manager that come out and walk around, try to meet and greet. Sometimes though they stay too long.
Yeah.
I've been your mom and I were at an Italian place once, and the owner or manager came out, and he just, dude, you hung around way too long, bro.
Bro, I'm trying to eat.
Yeah. Guys trying to talk dirty to this girl. Here. It was, yeah, it got a little too personal. There's some things you ask about, and there's some things you don't. When you're a business, when it's like a business acquaintance almost.
Yeah.
It's a tough relationship. Like when Jim was alive, my business partner, man, that sucked. I couldn't stand him. He was such a dick
Yeah.
that I almost quit. We went to North Carolina and looked around, and I was going to just do something else. But it was so close to retirement that I was like, fuck it, I can hang in there until he retires.
Yeah.
But, oh my God. Pompous, selfish, ego maniac that was insecure.
Yeah.
And on top of it, he was a fag. And gay at the same time. There's nothing worse than that, man.
Yeah.
But the fact that he hit it, well, I know I understood why he hit it, because back then he could get killed.
Yeah.
He was fucking, I was 26 and he was like, I think he turned 50 when I was like 27 or 28, so he was quite a bit older.
Yeah. People don't care nowadays.
They don't care, that's cool.
Yeah.
They care about stupid shit though. And that's stupid too, but, attacking people personally because they're white or believe in capitalism or
anything, really.
Or anything. It's like, I don't know what caused that.
Why even care?
Why? How did that even start? Like this can't try to shut people up. Like you're not allowed. Liberty should be first and foremost.
Well, that's the people who do that. They subscribe to an ideology that doesn't value liberty or freedom.
Yeah, and what's so weird to me is,
which is crazy.
You just adopted this viewpoint, and yet you think it's the only correct way.
Yeah.
And so now you feel justified in
shutting
everybody else up because you think you have the ultimate truth.
It's so absurd.
It's so absurd, and it's so stupid.
Yeah.
It is so intellectually limiting. It shows a lack of
it's almost a good thing though, because that just shows how stupid that ideology really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like there's people who may be convinced by that ideology if it wasn't so aggressive against like freedom of speech.
Yeah. Yeah. There are, because let's be honest, everyone likes to blame somebody for something.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't like, yeah, it would be violent.
Yeah.
It would maybe have gotten more ground, I think.
Yeah.
But dude, if you're that aggressive about it, and when you tell a white person that everything they do is racist and they're privileged, dude, I know my family. Fuck, they were poor as fuck.
Yeah.
Shitting in an outhouse, no electricity.
Yeah.
You know, in the Ozarks, some of the poorest people in our nation are those people that are white.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I remember hearing a lady say that, oh, that's capitalism for you. But for black people, it's racism. Their poverty is racism, but poverty for white people is capitalism.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, every problem in the world has something to do with the things that you hate.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Very interesting.
So convenient, too. It's rad. But the problem is they don't really have any solution that makes any sense. They just tear it down. Well, what are you going to replace it with?
Equity, equality,
dude.
communism.
People think equity is equality. It is not.
No, they're two different things.
Two different things. Equity is at the end of everything. We're gonna distribute it all even.
Yeah.
Dude, that is not fair
or smart.
There isn't. You can't have the same outputs and say that's justice when there wasn't the same inputs.
Right. Yeah.
That's not justice. It's the opposite of justice, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
And just, how do people convince themselves that that's logical or it makes sense?
I know.
It's so weird. I remember.
You can just ask like counter questions like, okay, equity, how about for the NBA? Should we get rid of all the black people in the NBA and replace them with white people to make it more equitable? It's like, no, of course not. No. We want the best athletes.
Yeah. Who's the most qualified for the job? Yeah. Anyone's like, oh, there's not enough black professors. Yeah, because you guys aren't educated. Duh. We need to fix that.
Yeah.
That's a foundation. The fact that there's not enough black professors is not because there's a bunch available, we still hire them. It's because there's not enough available.
Yeah.
And so we have to fix the bottom part and make sure they have access to quality education.
Right.
But unfortunately, you have to go to another country to get that now because it doesn't happen in America.
Yeah.
You're just going to get brainwashed.
Yeah.
And it's really, like, it's gotten worse. Kids come out of college with really weird beliefs.
Yeah.
And some of the better universities, some of the, like UCLA, dude, if you're a minority, you're coming out there with some very strange and probably problematic attitudes and beliefs towards race. And what people don't realize is race is a human construct. It's not science.
A real thing, yeah.
There is no race in science. I can't tell someone's race by their DNA. I might be able to take a guess if I see an abnormal, a condition or a trait that is a specific adaptation to a particular area. If you're black, I might guess that if someone has sickle cell anemia, only because I know that's equator, and so people that evolved at the equator have darker skin. But that's all I could probably say is they have. I would guess that they have darker skin if they had sickle cell anemia, but I wouldn't know if they're Indian because actually the darkest skin on the planet is not from African Americans. It's a fucking group of Indians in right by the equator. They're the darkest on the planet.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's not. I hate being called white. I'm not fucking white. You idiot. Look at a white paper. Do I look like that?
Yeah.
Please don't call me white. Call me tan.
Yeah.
Or bronze or whatever color this is. I'm not really sure what color that actually is.
I was darker than Charlize, and she's Mexican.
I was darker than Tyrone sometimes in the summer. Light-skinned black guy, and I was in the sun more. And he was always trying to shade because he didn't want to get darker. And so I remember in the summer, I was like, dude, I am more black than you. And it was funny because I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, my arms just look darker than his.
Yeah.
But, it's, number one, it's sophomoric and it's tribal and it's primitive thinking. That shit is, to me, is just ignorance and stupidity. Ignorance is different. Ignorance means I don't know. If someone's calling, like, Melissa first, when I say that's ignorant, she would get offended. And I'm like, I choose my words very precisely because ignorance is not an insult. It just means you don't have that knowledge. That's not on you. You've never been exposed to it.
Yeah.
And so something ignorant just means you don't know, and so let's fix it. Stupid,
That's
to me, that means you either lack the ability to understand or you don't fucking care because you're dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you are also very, very immature. And so you don't even have the capacity to control your emotions enough to critically analyze your own thoughts, to reflect. Most people don't take enough time reflecting on what they do and how they think.
Most people don't even like introspect a little bit.
That is frightening to me.
They just like,
And the problem is I think they don't do that because they're frightened to do it.
yeah, probably. Yeah.
Dude, I sat there and listened to Melissa.
I can't not do it though, because I'm like introverted.
Me too.
So I'm like,
dude, I can spend 6 hours in my
just
own little world.
Yeah, me too.
And I've done it.
Yeah.
You know? Like sometimes, well, right now, I'm kind of dependent on that to sleep a little bit. But, you know, it's kind of pressure. There's a lot of stress. And so I'm always planning.
Yeah.
I'm like always, well, not really planning. Mostly I'm thinking about what the fuck is this universe made of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I spend way too much time on that. And it's not productive because I can't make money out of that.
Yeah. But it's interesting.
But it's so interesting to me. And I think it has profound. It definitely has profound implications.
No, it absolutely does.
How the universe works
Yeah.
has profound implications for our society.
Yeah.
And so I may not be able to make money. I may not be able to do something right now, but it's everything.
Yeah.
It is everything. And we are close to some real insights.
Yeah.
Some real weird, scary, not scary. It's going to scare some people because it's hard for people to deal with.
Yeah.
People don't like hearing the fact that, this shit's not, there's no time. This isn't actually real.
Yeah.
And what you see is just, people struggle with that.
Yeah.
Why? Because our brains don't like unpredictability. We don't like thinking that our model's wrong.
Yeah.
If our model wrong, that's scary. That means we're going to struggle and we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And so our brains convince ourselves that we're right about what we believe, and almost to a point that, well, people will die for that. People that believe in their religion will, kill people over it.
Yeah. Or willingly die themselves.
Or willingly die
for it.
themselves for it. And yet have never spoken to that man one time, or whoever their deity is, never once showed him his face,
Yeah.
never once answered a question.
That just shows the power of stories. Humans are like, they love stories.
That's why lying is so effective and it's so easy to manipulate, because we're wired to believe what we're told. Why? Because it was usually our damn grandparents or our parents.
Yeah.
That's how we writing's only been around for like 5 years.
Yeah.
5,000 years.
I genuinely think like storytelling is like a valuable skill to learn.
It is. And to get good at it's awesome because people listen better. Like
Yeah.
Ryan's a good storyteller.
Yeah, and people listen.
And people listen.
They want to hear him talk. Yeah.
People that make you laugh. I guess when I'm stoned, I'm pretty funny, I guess. Melissa and we crack up a lot. Most of my friends are good most of the time. But I'll be honest, all my philosophy is if I'm not working, I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
But I want to have fun in a way that's more serious about making life better for people.
Right.
Because I'll be honest, dude, we're so stupid, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
There's nothing better than the truth. If you can't make some of that stuff up. Like you wouldn't make it up.
Yeah.
And even me, I reflect. Well, half the time I'm texting or something, I'll literally catch myself lying. I'll be like, shit, that's not true. I wish it was, but it's not. Damn it, man. Damn it.
Yeah.
I can't remember I did that with, or telling Heather and that. It's like every time if I say something and I'm mad, I always come back to it and I always apologize.
Yeah.
And I always let you know that wasn't appropriate.
Yeah.
I reacted wrong and it wasn't okay. And
I do that too, and then sometimes they'll use that against you.
Oh, she did every fucking
Like they
time.
won't.
Yeah, she did. I got it blown in my face every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm sorry I did that. I shouldn't have done that. And then you would expect like, okay, thank you for saying that. Here's what I did wrong.
Yeah.
But instead, there's like, yeah, I know you motherfuckers.
Fucker, yeah,
Okay.
like, yeah.
Fine.
All right.
Whatever.
Yeah. And they won't, like, she never apologized. She dumped me because over saying sorry. She was sorry. I said, sorry for what? I said, you have to tell me what you're sorry for. What did you do that you're sorry for? And she couldn't do it. And so that was, she disappeared for a few months.
Well, if they can't say that, they're not actually sorry.
They're not, because she tells herself she never did anything wrong.
Right.
And I keep telling her, I said, hon, you're going to keep doing this to him. If we don't acknowledge what we do, that means if you say you didn't do anything wrong, you can't change your behavior. If you convince yourself you did nothing wrong, you will not change your behavior. There's no reason to. And until you acknowledge that this was not okay, you can't tell someone else, see you in the morning, and you don't ever respond, and you blame them for it. I'm sorry. That person deserves an apology.
Yeah.
But when you act like your behavior is not wrong, and you start manipulating what happened, try to change, that's frightening. Because pretty soon, that woman got to the point where she could justify anything she wanted.
Yeah.
Because she wouldn't talk on the phone. It had to be text. Why? Because then she didn't have to listen.
Mm.
And she didn't have to be called out on bullshit.
Yeah.
And cherry pick little parts. And I was like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not engaging by text like that. That's
so stupid.
It's stupid. I'm like, it never ends well.
Yeah.
I was like, that's how fights start. It's texting.
Yeah.
I was like, Heather, we've never been in a fight face to face.
Yeah.
But texting every fucking time.
Yeah.
Because your little lies. Yeah. And they're too easy to see. You lie like a kindergartner. I was like, dude, Heather, when I ask you questions, it's so funny. I always know when you're lying because you don't answer it. You seem to don't understand that withholding information is still lying. It's called a lie by omission. Yeah. It's like little, that wasn't at that particular time. Hun, being wrong about a fact doesn't change whether it was a lie or not. It was your intention to deceive that makes it a lie. Yeah. When the weatherman tells you it's going to rain tomorrow, it doesn't. He didn't lie. He was incorrect. Yeah. He didn't. It's the intention. And I was like, whatever, no matter what you say, it doesn't change your intention to deceive. And I was like, withholding information is still lying, especially when it's meant to let them hold a false belief still. Yeah. When you could correct it, that means you're intentionally deceiving them. And so it didn't matter how many times I explained it. I just figured, I gave up. You're never getting out of kindergarten. Fuck this. I don't date kids. We were telling that, like, Tina. I remember telling Tina, because she was mature. Well, she had some fucking kids. Yeah. But I remember telling her, it's like, some of these girls, I just feel like more like a mentor. And I don't want that. I need a partner. Yeah. I need someone that's a partner and not someone. I mean, I love, like, I'll stay friends with any person that's trying to better themselves. Then I'm going to do everything I can to help. And so, but for like a relationship, I need an adult. Yeah. Yeah. The relationships are hard enough. I know. I'm waiting for an AI model to come out that's like legit. That's. Because all they need is to sit there and understand. Right. And be nice. And you be nice back. And then when I want to have sex, I'll just order a hooker. Yeah, we're so cooked. It's, and I'll be honest, I bet women are the same. I'll just have a male robot that actually listens to me and understands and knows when to get me fucking flowers and when not to. Probably. And you know what? I'll just go get laid one night when I get horny. Or actually, a girl will probably just be like, I'll get my rabbit out. I don't even need a man. Because a woman can just cuddle with the damn robot. There's like a really almost dystopian but kind of hilarious like future that you could envision here. Oh yeah. Where like biological men and women completely diverge in like societally. Yeah. And like women just reproduction takes place in a fucking little vat. Yeah. And like women just have like robot men that are like their perfect thing, and then the men have the same exact thing. Yeah. It's like we start like competing. God, there's so many like possible scenarios. It's because we're so goddamn selfish now. Most people they don't lose they can't have that conversation. Yeah. It's like, God dang it, man, keep your goal. If your goal is to solve the problem and to understand, as long as you keep that in mind, it's a lot easier. It's because what happens is people they immediately get defensive and they want to win. Right. Now it's just a fight and they want to win. Yeah. Instead of I need to understand why you're hurt so I can change and fix that. Right. And people don't. it's funny because I was taught that, you know, how to develop interpersonal skills. You know, there's a formula, and really, you just, you know, when you did this behavior, it made me feel this way. That way, it's not about them; it's about what they did.
Yeah.
And that way, you can keep their defenses from coming up so fast. And sometimes it's hard; they may come up, especially if the person feels bad about what they did.
Yeah.
They're already defensive,
Right.
and so you have to wait sometimes. You'll bring it up later. But people get childish, and so we get impulsive, and so instead of caring about this other person and solving a problem, I want to win.
Yeah.
You're worse than I am, damn it. And that is hard to get past because it takes a lot of emotional intelligence, and I would not even tell it takes emotional maturity
Yeah.
to control your emotions. Is almost impossible for most people.
It is.
Now, and I don't know why.
Because people are philosophically illiterate.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's very true.
Yeah.
Well, Melissa didn't even know what North Korea was.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I said, she goes, what? What's that? What? You don't know what North Korea is? But she had no clue about communism,
Yeah.
how most people will live. She didn't think that people starve to death, or she didn't think that what's happening in North Korea is like actually a thing. But we don't want to know that either.
Right.
We don't want, and people, we don't even show the truth. We don't show the dead bodies,
Right.
the kids that are starved to death. You know, they're trying to eat rats because the rats ate their only food around, so they're trying to eat rats. And you just, that should be everywhere. To me, that is justification for going in there and wiping that motherfucker off the planet. I think that is justified. We're taking over, you piece of shit. Why? Because you're not a good human being. And millions of people are dying and starving because of your ass. And so, we're going to just take this over. You know, you're going to be on trial because you're a criminal.
Yeah.
You know, and at the same time, it's a difficult thing because sovereignty has to mean something.
Yeah.
But to me, dude, when you're using your sovereignty to be a tyrant, bullshit. I'm protecting the other human beings. I think I think protecting the innocent is justified. Taking action to protect the innocent, I think, is justified. But especially as our world gets more and more interconnected, you can't look the other way. Before, we were so far, we didn't have communication, we didn't have drones, we didn't have all this shit. We didn't have to see it.
Yeah. I'd agree if I trusted our government to do it well.
Well, and I don't.
I don't.
I don't know if it'd be better.
Yeah.
You don't know if it'd be better.
Yeah.
To me, it would be like,
Because that was basically the pitch for
it has
Saddam
to be done.
Hussein.
Yeah, I would say you have to treat that like an organizational change. Like if we come in and a company's they're merging, you know, or we're doing some we're downsizing or something. It just has to be communicated well, and the people there would have to be involved. It would have to be their project for the most part. But
Yeah.
with our guidance and structure, you know, unfortunately, we're there for usually the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
We're not there to help the people. We're there for strategic advantage and resources or position, or, you know.
I don't know if that works though.
I don't know if that works either.
Because I could imagine if China came over here, if our government collapsed and China came over and was no, you guys should act this way and put it in a structure. I don't think people would fucking stand for that at all.
No, but I think if outside, if we come in, if you are trying to implement liberty, I think that's appealing to most people.
I think it is
as long as they
too.
get educated.
But yeah, most people don't even know what that is.
They don't know what that is. A lot of people will
If you're in a totalitarian
if you're in a totalitarian
society,
system, some of them they don't know how to operate, and so they try to go back because they don't have to think there. Everything's done. The state runs everything about your life.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them they're just, or some guys will commit more crimes and go back to jail.
If the state is involved in every single, part of your life, that literally is your life. It's the only
That
thing
is
you
your
know.
life. Yeah.
You don't know a different system.
You don't know. They have to be shown it, and they have to be educated along the way.
Yeah.
But I think when somebody's literally just keeping people fucking starving so they can keep control of them,
Yeah.
Dude, when women that are fucking 4'7" and 70 pounds because they're malnutrition, and the average height of a man is 4'9", if you're over 4'9", you have to be in the military, forced military. They're on our fucking planet. I don't see why we're not justified in going, you have to go bye-bye. We could put someone else in charge. As long as it's not you, it's probably an improvement.
Yeah.
And I don't know we can. God damn it! Nowadays with their technology stuff, I don't see how we can't make it better. But we're there for the wrong reasons half the time. They need to keep their culture. But South Korea has liberty.
Yeah.
They have a great economy.
Yeah. I don't think China would like that.
No, and that's a problem. It's because China they don't want capitalists. They don't want liberty that close to them.
No.
People don't realize, like, China looks like us when they do their media shit.
Yeah.
Go live there. It's not close. It's not close to living. A lot of people still live out in the middle of nowhere, and they're hungry, and they don't have access to electricity and
China is so weird because like they have markets, but like no real like civil freedom.
Yeah, everything's controlled.
And so I was thinking about this, and I was like, why? Like the way their economy works, like they make shit cheap, they copy it from us. Sometimes they make it better.
But sometimes, but they're.
But why can't they come up with new shit? And I was like, maybe because they don't have like personal freedom.
They don't have personal freedom. There's no personal ownership, so there's no reward in it. So there's no incentive to innovate.
Yeah.
The government has incentive to innovate to stay ahead of us, but they have nobody with talent there that can do breakthroughs, so they have to steal our shit.
Yeah.
And just like make incremental improvements upon it. But how can they have breakthroughs?
Yeah. Although that DeepSeek R1 is from a Chinese lab.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty legit too.
And it's pretty legit.
Yeah, and I think in this area, even if you're not getting rewarded, that's such a reward in itself to do that research probably.
The Chinese government is funding the shit out of AI research.
They're investing fucking billions.
That's
what scares me is they're making so many goddamn robots.
That's what they are doing better than us. Is their government actually invests a lot of money in science. Dude,
they are trying to like turn the deserts into more lush through science. But China has a history of education.
Yeah.
China, you could up your status by education in China thousands of years ago. And we were in a feudal system. Everyone was a piece of shit peasant, or your royalty, or your nobility. And wealth was determined by land ownership.
Yeah. Would communists argue that China today isn't communist because they have markets?
It's a mixed economy. It's not truly communist anymore. The state owns a part of that, but they do have private ownership now. But the state owns a piece of everything.
Every company reports to the state.
Yes. Yeah. And the state actually has control and some ownership.
Yeah.
Of every company.
Yes.
And so, Chinese people don't have access to all the internet that we do. Their TikTok's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't have access to some of the news outlets. They can't watch the BBC.
Right.
It's not on their servers. And so, but we don't see what's going on there. We don't see the nets that are off the side of the buildings.
Dude, there's a funny video of this guy's playing online video games, and someone in the game is from China, and they're like being a dick, and they're also like really good at the game and destroying everyone. And the guy, he opens up the chat and he types in the chat, and he says, what was like the massacre? In China?
Tiananmen Square.
He types that in the chat and he hits enter, and because of the way that it is in China, as soon as that keyword pops up, it just boots him off the server. It's so funny. Yep. So he just got him kicked from the game just by typing it in the chat.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, you can't like search certain things, and it's
like legit censorship.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. They have different views on sex as us, though, too.
Yeah.
They're way more relaxed on it. Well, Europeans are too.
Yeah.
That's our Puritan background.
Yeah.
And I don't. Why are so many men afraid of women's sexuality? It's like dude, they have to be horny or we wouldn't be alive.
Yeah.
I don't get that. It's like,
Insecurity, I don't know.
it is, it's insecurity.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's with our I think our society is a lot to blame with that.
Yeah.
Because we idolize like that beauty or, these trying to be this man that's almost impossible
Yeah.
because of media and stuff.
Yeah.
And but the good news is biology is still biology. As long as you get around a chick enough, you have a chance.
Yeah.
But I think
And there's other skills too,
oh heck yeah,
like humor.
humor works. That's how you usually get girls.
Me
No
too.
chick looks at me and is like,
Me
I
too.
want him. I have to talk to him. For
I
a
just
while.
figure out what makes them laugh. That's all
Yeah.
I do. It's like,
Me
all
too.
right, I like you. I gotta figure out what your humor is. What are the things that make you laugh, and then
Yeah.
I can like develop like a comedy strategy.
Me too.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. I'm always messing. Like Melissa, she goes, I never know if what you say is the truth or not because I'm always fucking around. With
Yeah,
it. But that's and she laughs.
yeah,
And then when she figured it out and catches me, she's she likes it. That's how we interact.
yeah,
But I do that to most of the people I know. It's always I feel like I try to make jokes about how irrational they are,
yeah,
or the situation, or what they say.
yeah.
I remember telling. I think it was my mom. Yeah, it was my mom. But we were talking about. She was talking about like making her hair healthier and stuff. And I'm all, Mom, your hair's dead. How can something dead get healthier? And she started cracking up. She goes, I never thought. I said, when they say they're strengthening your hair, beautifying, it's like painting a wall. They're just putting shit on top of your hair to make it look better. It's not doing shit because that keratin's dead. It's not, your fingernails and stuff. They're dead cells.
Yeah.
I was like, so
All that shit is just marketing.
it's marketing. I said, Mom, there's no such thing as all in science. There's no such thing as all natural.
I had to have basically do this lecture every fucking week with Charlize because everything like marketed like that she was into.
Yeah. Well, I remember
So
she took damn chemistry to school, Nikki.
Yeah.
And we're out in San Diego eating, and I got something. And she goes, all those chemicals and stuff. Well, everything is chemicals.
Yeah.
You're a bag of chemicals.
Yeah.
But this is all natural. And I explained to her. I said,
Poison is all
I said,
natural.
Nikki, everything is all natural. I said,
Yeah.
every poison we have comes from nature.
Yeah.
I said, there's lead. It's all natural. You think you should eat it?
How about
some
mercury?
mushrooms? Mercury.
Yeah.
There's some beautiful mushrooms out there. It's all natural. Does that mean it's better for you?
No.
I said, I'd rather take the thing out of the lab so I know how many milligrams of exactly the active ingredient and what's in there.
Yeah.
You don't know with the plant.
Yeah.
You don't. And I said, there's no such thing as everything comes from nature. I
Right.
have yet to see something
Right.
that's not natural.
Yeah.
Because if it's in nature, it's natural.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's like they made it in a lab.
it's the most successful ploy that's ever been put, though. It's like the best marketing strategy ever.
It is. It's a really good marketing
Oh,
strategy.
organic, that fucking pisses
Dude,
me off.
it's riddled through our legislation.
It is, dude. It's just like so. I was like, you realize the organic plants, they just make them produce cancer. They make them produce the pesticides inside them, and so there's celery that has like 1,000 times more carcinogens in it. When you could just wash off the celery,
Yeah.
and there's not much on there anyway.
I was arguing about this with Charlize too. She's like, it's organic. I'm like, that shit's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
It's all BS.
Number one,
And
she's
like,
more land, it's more expensive.
but she's like, but like on all these government websites, they like it's here. Like the government uses it. I'm like, just because the government is on the website doesn't mean.
You could just pay money, and a company comes out and will certify you as organic.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you pay the fees, you're going to be certified,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Because, dude, there is not an animal on this planet that hasn't been exposed to fucking antibiotics.
Right.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're inbreeding these plants to make it themselves, now I can't even get it off of the plant. So I could wash the pesticide spray off of most of the stuff, and most of the time it's not much. But now we're making plants that have pretty powerful anti-insects built right into them. That affects us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, those carcinogens affect us too, and we're making the plants make it themselves, and we keep making them with less fiber and with more sugar, and we're making them just more tasty and easier, scrumptious. When before, so they're losing a lot of the bulk and the fiber and that what our digestive systems are used to. causes health problems. Unfortunately, societal civilization evolves way faster sometimes than biological evolution.
Yeah.
And so our diet's completely changed.
Yeah.
So now we have people with, all these fucking stomach problems.
Yeah.
It's because we don't eat how we evolved.
Right.
And so, unfortunately, there's mutations. It's cool. Like we have a new blood group. There's people that, we see mutations that are pretty cool already.
Yeah.
So, and I think, I don't know, like, dude, it's weird to me. Some of these islands and shit, if people live there long enough, they look weird.
Dude, some of those tribes that are like in the water all the time, they have like super webbed fingers.
And their
and toes
spleens
and
are
shit.
twice the size of ours.
Yeah.
And those motherfuckers can hold their breath for very long. But
minutes.
they've evolved in that. Their ancestors, 1,000 years of fucking dieting for food.
Yeah.
Dude, and they're completely, their anatomy looks so different.
Yeah.
And their insides are different. It's cool as
Pretty
hell.
cool.
That is evolution right there in front of us happening in real time.
Right.
And people don't realize that. Because evolution is literally the change in the genes in a population. Changing a species is speciation. It doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
Evolution can happen and it doesn't mean speciation is going to occur. And most people don't. Because most people, I get so sick of listening to these assholes sit there and say, debate evolution and they don't even know what it is. They can't even define it.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you don't get to make up your own idea what evolution is.
Even
so you
it.
so you can crash it, so you can bash it. I'm sorry, it's called a straw man argument.
They couldn't even describe it if you asked them, like, what do you actually think it is?
Yeah.
It's like the most cartoonish version. It's like apes turn into humans.
Yeah, I've never seen dogs give birth to a cat.
Yeah.
I always say, well, good, that's what evolution would predict too. So right now, you're in agreement with it.
Yeah.
Evolution doesn't happen at an individual level. It's a population thing, dumbass. And yet they'll sit there and they want to argue about it. It's like, dude, you're demonstrating you have no knowledge about it.
Yeah.
Like everything you think you know about it, you're not saying anything that's true. Evolution would say that dogs don't give birth to cats. Everything you criticize, evolution is in agreement with you. And the other shit that you think is impossible, dude, we have so much evidence for it.
Yeah.
Open your eyes. I'm sorry, but if you're going to just blind yourself to it, stick your head in the sand.
Yeah. And it just makes so much sense. Like, watch
it
one of those.
Everything. It's beautiful.
Just watch like one of those biology videos, and it's like, holy shit, that's
We
fucking awesome.
We created a new strain of bacteria. Watch evolution right there. All we did was have no oxygen and oxygen, and the way they did it, they ended up having these bacteria that no longer could interact, and they fucking switched to being able to use oxygen as food.
That's fucking cool.
It's fucking cool. That's fucking cool. So we have selective pressure on organisms and push those. Well, we do it all the time. Look at dogs and animals.
Yeah.
We make selective pressure on different breeds all the time.
I love this shit. That's why I want to make like the evolution simulator.
Yeah. So I have like a kind of a framework for that.
That would be a fun project.
We have to
because we
have to build a framework because I do want. Can you like add to it?
Dude, yeah.
So because I think
It'll have to be.
We need a bunch of different organisms. Yeah. And I say their goal is.
Well, I can make pixel art too, so I can make little bodies and shit.
Yeah, and
so
I think we have like where the food is. So we have a resource center.
Yeah.
And I think that has to change over time because the environment changes a little bit. But to get in, they have to figure out how to get in to get the resources, and they have to get enough resources, and then they get to reproduce. And if they get to reproduce, they get higher value resources that allow them to even reproduce more. And so if they can get the right adaptations or figure stuff out, like if they reproduce with something in a different shape, well, now they get degrees of freedom where if they're trying to get in there, they have the ability to maybe move a piece of themselves. And so they can get in. Where something else that hasn't been successful at getting resources and mate selection is going to struggle a little more.
Right.
But I'm not sure how to like get that in the prompts.
Yeah.
And we want reinforcement learning.
Right.
I think give it a code, give it a goal. Is there a way to write that in? Yeah, because they do the reinforcement learning now.
Yeah.
And I think you could tweak the reinforcement learning to more have the AI study operant conditioning, classical conditioning, reward structures, goal setting theory, If it understands that at basic level, I think you could do some really cool shit. Like, who knows what'll happen over 1,000 iterations?
Yeah.
It could be. It should get more complex,
Yeah.
especially as it gets more complex to get resources.
Yeah.
And you get really high value resources that allow you to like start having a harem of women. No, I don't know. You know, but
Yeah, we'll have to make the environment complex.
complex. It has to be,
Yeah.
and it has to have change. That's going to force diversity. And we have to have
Maybe
predators.
we could do like
We need predators too.
we could probably even do like a temperature system.
Yeah.
Like different areas on the map or have like different like higher and lower temperatures.
Yeah.
I could just split it up into like a grid and have some of the grid points.
And like every 8,000 code changes, there's like random mutation, like either a point mutation, transfer, transmutation. That way, maybe they get like a little thicker skin or something, and then they can handle the cold environment better.
Yeah.
And so maybe different organisms will get little niches, just like here. You got crabs, and they're all in little niche environments. And it's funny, everyone talks about, I couldn't explain that to Cindy. She didn't understand, like, well, then we're going to have to fly. It's like, every extant species right now on the planet that's alive right now, they are the top.
Yeah.
Because everything else has died.
Yeah.
Organisms quickly occupy environments that become available.
Mm-hmm.
And they adapt pretty quick. Opportunity for like the start of new life is almost impossible because current life goes everywhere almost.
Yeah.
It just finds a way. And so I think I'm stoned because I lost my train of thought. Not train my thought. I was like, what the fuck was my point? Having.
We're talking about AI.
Yeah, what the fuck? Oh, reinforcement learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think as long as it has a goal and there's ways to gain advantage,
Yeah.
because the goal should be, I want most of my code in everything.
Yeah.
Like the most successful person ever was Genghis Khan. That dude had like 1,500 kids.
Yeah.
His DNA is almost everywhere.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's like a significant portion of the
Yeah, what the
population. Yeah.
F? That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not sure how to write that into like an AI code. I want an open-ended algorithm, and I want reinforcement learning, and I want it to have a little bit of base knowledge. Like it understands operating classical conditioning, and so it has like a little jump start on some models that it's seen and understands.
That'll be the hard part to implement. I don't know how we implement that.
Yeah, that's
Maybe we could do something with a large language model.
can it like watch B.F. Skinner like train a dog or a rat through positive reinforcement or operating conditioning and shaping? Can it read like little articles about that shit?
It would need to be so the neural network that's running the agents would have to be a multimodal network that can take like video inputs too.
Okay. Because we can do like they can read about Pavlov's dog, classical conditioning, because there's different even reward structures and how to make how addiction even works.
Well, the AI that will be helping us code will know all these concepts, and so it could help us try to implement some of them.
Okay.
But
at least because I don't know, I've never even done any of that shit. It's gonna started like simple, but
yeah.
It gets more and more complex. Animals get more and more diverse, and you need more and more complex strategies for survival. And
we can code a fairly complex, but not like crazy overblown.
Yeah. Simulator.
Little simulator
Mission.
that will still have really complex emergent behavior.
Yeah.
Because really, you just need simple rules that can interact correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as there's proper reward and punishers in the environment they're consistent,
Yeah.
especially if we get predation in there. I think at first we do resource and then we add predators,
Yeah.
like later,
Yeah.
and then see what happens. I bet we see an explosion
Yeah.
or a mass die off. All the predators eat everything and then they starve because there's no food left.
Right.
That might happen. I mean, the first time the Earth had life, it died in its own shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was no oxygen. There was no oxygen-consuming organisms,
Yeah.
and so all the photosynthesis, the plants poison themselves. I gotta go to the bathroom.
All right, I'm gonna show you a video.
All right.
I'll probably end the stream too. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're going for
We
almost
can
4
go
hours.
forever.
You can go pee if me find it.
Okay.
I think it's in my history.
Simulating evolution. Cool.
This one talked about a bunch of different, really fucking cool projects.
God, dude.
'Cause
To be honest, I love the physics, but dude, I love behavior modification and
Where living organisms adapt to their environment. No, this is about virtual evolution. About discovering the extent to which video games and other simulations can shatter the natural order and let us experiment with the building
Yeah, this would be
blocks
fun
of
as
life
hell.
itself. The ambitious dream
we
of
can get
using
something really
computers to
fucking cool
simulate
really
life
quick.
is an
yeah,
illusion.
look at that.
And you might be amazed at just how far the technology has come. So